These are our co-commentators, ladies and gentlemen, to keep you informed.
Our team, isn't it? We're a great team too, so we are. Kerry Irvine on my right. Kerry, you want to stick your hand up? Here's Kerry Irvine. Norm Haraway, John McBride. There we go. They'll be the ones that take you through the racing commentary and a few of the details that have been around a whole lot of shows, so they can keep you well informed of how things may be going up here.
Come on, Gerald, let's get out of here. I want to see some shearing.
Yeah, let's do some dance moves, mate.
Well, boys, set the stage. Thanks, Toma and Gerald. First heat of the 2020 Golden Shears up on the stage. This, folks, is the 60th anniversary celebrations. We've had huge number of entries across all events here in the last 3 days. Still tomorrow to come, so absolutely fantastic. These are the top 30. And a real interesting dynamic right now in heat number 1 already. We've got Lockie Baines, Paraki Puna, Floyd Neal, Lionel Taumata, Toy Henderson. Really, you could say, inexperienced in the open grade. And then we've got that very, very experienced hitter, Johnny Kirkpatrick, up there on stand number 2. So some real young shearers here in heat number 1, and it's great to see them compete here at the top 30, because getting into this top 30, you've got to be right on top of your game.
You certainly do, and the bit that I like here about it, we've got some new people in there. Nothing wrong with the old shearers, but shearers require new blood in to keep the industry going, and we're very privileged to have a good bunch of people coming through from the lower grades. It just goes to show you the tuition and the heart to get up there and work hard every day and make every post a winning post in this industry. We're struggling in the wool industry at the moment for dollars and cents, but when you come to an occasion like this, ladies and gentlemen, it's a ripper. We go with a green light. Okay, here we go. The first heat. Timekeepers are good. Judges, competitors, go. And we're ready to rumble this time round. Just keep an eye on the score sheet up there. We will be showing a few of the points, but the outside points will probably be held back. We're just not sure how the computer is going to run at the moment. So the time clock is right up the top there, the heat time. And at 1 point per 20 seconds, that's 3 points per minute, 8 sheep. I suggest we're going to have about 23 points and time points as we get through this operation. The second cuts have been judged by those grey-shirted gentlemen and ladies we have coming across the stage. They're looking for anything as thick as your finger, as long as a credit card. And that's what they deem to be a point to come off. And outside, the same thing, the demerit points for anything that's roughed up or left on. We want these animals to go out in pristine condition. And look at the time going now, 51, 52, 53, 4 for Johnny K. Who's going to be hot on his heels? Down the far end, it's the man from the deep south, Toy Henderson.
On the far north, yes, he is, Toy Henderson. Way down the belly he rolls. Johnny Kirkpatrick flicks it out behind him. So is his experience telling already. He's going to put the cat among the pigeons and make these young fellas work for a place in the top 12, that's for sure. Johnny K, top knots off, and he's up the neck already. So he'll go out strong, put the pressure on them. Hopefully they'll fold, and he'll breeze through into the top 12. Paraki Puna coming up into the neck area now, and Floyd Neal right there, the big fella on stand number 4. Another big guy down there, Lionel Taumata. First season in the open grade for this young man from the deep south. Go the south, Lionel. And up the front, Lockie Baines. He's a horse of a man from near Wairarapa there, and around into the front shoulder. Oh, he's from Hastings, actually, but originally from that big place up the back there. Another couple of shots for Lockie Baines. Turns for home. Cheek comes off just as JK cleans off the back leg on stand number 2. Johnny Kirkpatrick winds his way down there, and he's in for sheep number 3, Kerry already.
Cracking heat 1 of the Open Top 30, ladies and gentlemen. Proudly sponsored by Bailey's, and down and out the flank goes Lockie Baines on the 1. Into the pen he goes. Sheep number 3 on the board for him. Johnny Kirkpatrick, undermined time for him. How many finals has this man made, ladies and gentlemen? He has been a real soldier in the shearing industry, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, we see Johnny Kirkpatrick down and into the long blow, making his way in the top 30, looking for a place in that top 12. Undermine time for the man on 3. Up the neck he goes. Breaks the neck well open, takes the cheek well and works his way around the shoulder. Floyd Neal right there as well. Lionel Tomata, the boy from the deep south. First year in the Open, and wow, ladies and gentlemen, what a future this young fella's got. Made the top 30. What incredible effort. Imagine if you could make the top 12, my man. You get in there. You give it everything you got. You have to bring your A game because this is what it's going to take to make that top 12. Toe Henderson down there on 6 in the shearing peak of his life, ladies and gentlemen. He's been doing pretty well in the North Island shows, and once again, he will be looking for a spot in that top 12. Down the first leg he goes. The 2 big undermine shots. Bang, bang. Top knot taken. Up the neck he goes. Breaks the neck well open, but it's still the boy on stand number 2, ladies and gentlemen. The boy they call Johnny Kirkpatrick. Sheep 4 on the board for him. Down and over the brisket he goes. Takes the trimming on the bottom side of the leg. Under that final shoulder and down and out the flank. You better go, Johnny. You better go. You got 5 over the shearers right up you. John, what a cracking heat so far.
Oh, just a shade over 4 minutes have gone. And Johnny Kirkpatrick drops number 4 down the hole. Lockie Baines coming into the first off shoulder now. Through into the long. Into the long blow he goes. Down there, change of sheep now for Toa Henderson. Down the belly, he's about to steam. He's shearing out of his skin at the moment. Lionel Tomara, right in the big powerful arm from the man from Gore, right out the last leg. Likewise as Paraki Pooney here on the middle stand in 3. Closely followed by the Tigawiti man or Tamaranui, Floyd Neal. Under the shoulder he comes. Nothing in it at this stage. Sheep number 5. Johnny Kirkpatrick still out in front, but it looks like Toa Henderson. He's coming out after him, Norm.
Oh, he certainly is. Toa Henderson turns, lays it into the long blow as well. So a big sweeping blow right through to the base of the air. Toa Henderson down there from Kaiowaka in the far north. Another couple of shots. He is going to turn for home. Right there is Johnny Kirkpatrick, though, still a couple of shots out, but only a couple as he winds his way under the leg, slides down the last side and right out onto the hind leg. Now down comes Toa Henderson as well. Right out onto the hind leg for Toa. Another couple of shots. JK, there it is. Out it goes. Number 5, he's in for 6. 5 minutes and 25 gone on the clock. So there's something to keep an eye on as we move through the heats. See what the other heats time points are. Toa Henderson is in and around onto the last front shoulder. Paraki Puna, Lionel Tomata. These 2 young fellows, one from the north, one from the south. Down the last side, they wind together. Another couple of shots, and they're going to be looking for sheep number 6 as well. 6 out for Paraki Puna. Change of steel first, though. I'm just going to change my handpiece. In goes Lionel. Big Lionel Tomata down there on stand number 5. He'll be absolutely rapt to be up here in his first season, Kerry.
Oh, without a doubt, Norm, without a doubt. First year in the Open, and he's a young fella in the field, and he said, I have got absolutely nothing to lose. He had an incredible share in the qualifying heats, and he has earned his right to be in this top 30, ladies and gentlemen. But it's still the boy on stand number 2, Johnny K, leading the way just by a whisker at the moment. Toe Henderson down there on stand number 6. He's coming for you, Johnny. He's coming for you. He's hunting you down. And down on out onto the pen he comes. Off comes the belly for Johnny K. Down the belly goes Henderson. 1, 2. Johnny knows he's got to get his A in the G. These boys want his blood. Up the neck he goes. Breaks the neck well open. Takes a cheek ball and works his way around the shoulder. Floyd Neal down and into the long blow he goes. Paraki Boona down and out the flank he goes. Beautiful shearing sheep these are, ladies and gentlemen. Wairarapa, they've probably got some of the best sheep in New Zealand. Down and out the flank, and they are being shorn here in the Bailey's Open, ladies and gentlemen. Top 30 Golden Shears 2020 we are. Johnny K down and out the flank. Toe Henderson chasing hard. Lockie Baines, sheep 7 on the board for him. Johnny Kirkpatrick in for his 8th and final sheep. John, bring him on home.
Well, looking at 7:38 gone. Poor Lockie Baines had one that went a bit stiff on him as he brought it out the door. He gave it a quick reminder of the power of the man, and he just forced it in between his knees and said, sit still, my sweetie. I'll only be another 40 seconds. Johnny Kirkpatrick turns up the neck down around the back of the head, and coming out after him is the man down, Toa Henderson on 6. Lionel Tamara over the shoulder on the last side, still one in the pen. One in the pen for the other two as well. In the middle of the field, Floyd Neal coming onto the money side of the sheep. Down and out to that flank there for Paraki Puna. Oh, to the top of the shoulder, Lockie Baines. At top of the shoulder for Johnny Kay now as he winds in over the last side. Coming at him though, still Henderson firing some big ones up the long blow. But it's the expert Johnny Kay ripping it down. 8 minutes and 30 gone. Look at him go, ladies and gentlemen. He's won, done and dusted.
Johnny Kay. All sorted. We'll see these young fellas off. Don't worry about that. Right out onto the tail for Tor Henderson, though. Another couple of shots. He's going to be looking for the button. The button time it is for Tor Henderson. 8 minutes and 49 seconds. So the rest of the field, these young guys up here battling it out amongst each other. Way up the undermine for Lockie Baines. Long blow time for Paraki Puna. Floyd Neal around the back of the head. They're all on sheep number 8, folks. But down the last side, pause Lionel Tolmata. Absolutely rapt to see this young guy performing so well. Oh, and the sheep's performing quite well as well. Right out over the tail for Lionel Tolmata. Well done, Lionel. Awesome stuff. And turning for home is big Floyd Neal. Paraki Puna right down over the tail, another couple of shots, and he'll be looking for the button as well. Paraki Puna, give him a hand, folks. Down comes Floyd Neal. Another couple of shots, he'll be looking for the button as well, and Lockie Baines not too far away. The big horse on stand, number 1 under the front leg. He punches his way down the flank. There's Floyd Neal out. And Lockie Baines, 5 or 6 shots behind Floyd. 9 minutes and 45 seconds gone, and 8 sheep out the hole. Big Lockie Baines looks for the button. There it is. Well done, folks. Give him a big hand.
Just a quick thing about the points up there on the board. You see the yellow figures coming up now. That is the total. The total, the end column. That is how those shearers have scored with the final judging being done on the number of sheep that have been shorn. While the blue figures are still there, we have still sheep to be judged. So Johnny Kay's come in with a 32.048. So that's a cracking one to set us alight. And we're going to see some other great athletes coming on.
Yes, so Johnny Kay, that's a wee bit telling there. We talked about the youth and the experience, and I think that experience just allowed him to stay a lot more settled than the other boys getting that heat. So well done, JK. Tomo and Gerald.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hasn't JK still got it? He's been with us for probably 20 years and he's still got it. Still acting like a young fella. Yeah, give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Kirkpatrick. He's a heck of a man, isn't he? And then we've got the young man down here, Tor Henderson. He is from Kaiwaka. He's been away for a long time, but he's come back and he is hungry. It looks like we're ready to go. Yes, we are. We're getting the thumbs up. Hurry the heck up. So we've got to stick to schedule. So ladies and gentlemen, give them a hand as they come up on stand number 6 from Gisborne, Tamanenia.
Stand 1 from Australia and a great representative there of Aussie, Daniel McIntyre, please, ladies and gentlemen.
Stand number 5, the silent assassin from Invercargill, Nathan Stratford.
There's no need to hype this. David Gordon from Masterton. Maybe we need a wee bit of encouragement. Stand 2, that is.
On stand number 4 from Martin, the Superfly, Jimmy Samuels. Not only can this man share, but he also represents New Zealand in darts. Whoa, what a man.
From the deep south, Invercargill, and on a winning streak, Leon Samuels is in the house too, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Leon. Good luck, mate. Right, we'll let them do their thing. We'll hand you back to our shearing commentators. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Thanks, guys. So just a quick reminder while they're getting set up and ready to rock and roll. Our teams for tomorrow, we just need to make sure all these competitors know that they are in these teams. The Māori Pākehā team, Martini Mason, Ricky Stevens, Cornan Tekene, Alex Smith, Tristan Mackay, and a replacement in that team is Liam Jensen. So he's the replacement in that team. The TUI invitation team is Tyson Hemmer, Darren Alexander, Tigwin Bradley, DJ Crawford, Robert Mudgeway, and Dean Herlihy. So those competitors need to realise that they're in that TUI invitation. And the women's shearing invitation team will be Emily Welch, Laura Bradley, Sarah Higgins, Pagan Karodia, Emily Takapa, and Catherine Maluli. So looking forward to seeing all those competitors in action tomorrow. Guys, it's going to be 3 really good events, but we've got so many good events here at the Golden Shears. We're sport for choice.
Well, looks like we've got a green light up there. Referee's just siding along the board. So we need to have the shearers out on the floor, out this side of the door. You might be able to hide a little bit better tonight because you got the dark singlets on, but you had the yellow singlets on today, and I could track you easily. So we're going to have one out. We have them all out. Just waiting for 5. They call him the silent assassin. Well, I think they really should go and meet the man. He's like one of those yappy little halfbacks. He's a very likable character with a infectious smile and quick wit to beat. So, we've got a couple of brothers in the middle of the field. This could add a bit of niggle to their whole affair, and looks like we're ready to go. We've got the all clear. Everybody happy. Timekeepers right. Judges, competitors, go. We're off and moving now, and heat number 2 of the Bailey's Golden Shears Open Top 30. 2020, by golly, whoever thought it'd come around so quick? Hey, a lot of us thought we'd never ever make 2000, and here we are 20 years later. Right up here we got Daniel McIntyre, the Australian. He had an extremely good heat, and he's dragged him through, and he qualified reasonably high in the top 30. The youngster, David Gordon, first year in the Open. Boy, is he starting to show a clean pair of heels. He's had a great shear, really whipped the wool off in that first round. On stand number 2, one of the brothers, Leon Samuels from the Deep South. Jimmy Samuels from Martin. They call him the Superfly. An absolute speedster when it comes round to the speed shear side of this competition. But Nathan Stratford's putting the hammer down on sheep number 1. The lad from Invercargill, no longer a lad, I suppose, rolls it out the last leg. Down the hole he goes in 53 seconds. Tamanea, don't you count me out. This lad's been around for a little while, and he swings it down and out, right out the last leg. The big blow coming in for the middle of the shoulder, right out the last leg. That one there now. And he follows up with 5 quick shots and drops it down the porthole just as quick as I can speak. In comes the Superfly, though. He's putting the pace on this one, Norman.
Yeah, Jimmy Samuels winds his way up the neck. That wee fella there in the middle, they call him not just the fly, but the Superfly. So away he goes round through into the long blow. Up comes his brother, Leon Samuels. Leon Samuels is a real horse in the sheds, ladies and gentlemen. Ex-world record holder, and round the back of the head he works. He's got a big, big motor on him, that's for sure. But further back down, Nathan Stratford, though, still leading the way, or maybe not, because Jimmy Samuels just overtook him. Jimmy Samuels right out to the back leg, another couple of flying shots in there as he streaks into the pen for another one. Number 3 coming out for Jimmy Samuels. Nathan Stratford just back off Jimmy's pace by a couple of blows now. Is Jimmy going to keep that going all the way through? 2 minutes gone on the clock, and now Stratty heads into the pen. And Tamanea down there on stand number 6. Like you said, John, don't leave him out. This guy is a real soldier. Round through the long blow, he turns to home now. Tamanea from Gisborne. Down over the last front shoulder for Tama. Out comes Leon Samuels, David Gordon, and the Aussie up the front, Daniel McIntyre. Terrific shearers, all of them. Daniel McIntyre, very, very experienced. One of the best fine wool shearers in the world. Way into the first hind leg he rolls. David Gordon, great to see David performing so well up here on the big Golden Shears stage in his hometown of Masterton. This is a fantastic shear from this young guy. Like you said, John, first season in the Open, Kerry. So this guy, we all know that he's one to watch for the future.
Oh, without a doubt, Neil. Norm, down and into the long blow goes Nathan Stratford. This is the Bailey's Open top 30s, ladies and gentlemen. Heat number 2 we are on. And it's the boy down there on stand number 5. Down and out the flank he goes. Nathan Stratford. But it's Jimmy Samuels. Undermine time for him. Leading the field at the moment. Up the shoulders he goes. Takes a cheek wall and he'll work his way around the shoulder. Nathan Stratford said, not without me you don't. Leon Samuels, he said, my little bro, keep up, I'm going to keep up with you. Around the shoulders he goes. But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the boy on 4, he is coming out of swinging. He wants to be in that top 12. He knows he's got to have a good shear. He knows he's got to go fast. He knows he's got to do a good job. And at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, he's got all of the above. David Gordon, your local boy, down and into the long blow he goes. Sheep number 4 on the board for him. Daniel McIntyre, the Australian in the field. Up and round the shoulders he goes. Once again, beautiful, beautiful shearing sheep. These are cracking Wairarapa ewes, ladies and gentlemen. Down and out the flank they go. Leon Samuels, the boy from the deep south, finishing touches for him. But it's still the little bro, Jimmy Samuels. Down there on stand number 4. Up and around the shoulders he goes. Nathan Stratford out. Tamanea down there on stand number 6, ladies and gentlemen. Round the shoulders he goes. Right there with Jimmy. He said, you better go, Jimmy. You better go. I'm right up you. I'm right there. And he finishes the long blow right there with Jimmy. Down and over the last side they go. Ladies and gentlemen, what a spectacle we are seeing. These boys, they are the best shearers in the world. Down and out the flank they go. John, what a cracking semi-final this is.
Well, I'm just a bit worried about these South Islanders. They're all taped up to bits, but by crikey, you look up on the board and see where the points are. They're absolutely shearing like a house on fire. And the power and the strength is just showing through now as Leon Samuels comes down the last side. He swoops it into the bend for sheep number 6. Jimmy Samuels up over the tail. Oh, she wants to dance this one. In the pen now is Nathan Stratford. Coming in, he is up the top on stand number 6, sheep number 5. A little bit back off the pace, but he'll be there when the whips are cracking, I'm sure. David Gordon brings number 6 onto the board. Daniel McIntyre. Oh, down and out to the flank was right with the early pace now, but just fading a little bit. He'll be requiring a little bit of fresh air to bluff through the door and fill his lungs up and keep his brain ticking over as he changes the steel. Into the long blow comes Nathan Stratford. Leon Samuels is setting out after his younger brother. Over the shoulder comes Jimmy. Over the shoulder comes Leon from Martin and Invercargill respectively, and down and out in Leon. He's got a bit of a kicker. Can he readjust? This is what can destroy you here in the shearing world, Norman. It's Leon Samuels bouncing in for number 7.
Ooh, Leon Samuels, number 7, coming out on the board. And Jimmy goes in, had a bit of a difficult sheep to contend with, but he's out as well. Leon Samuels just showing his true worth. He's been very, very strong on the competitions in the South Island lately. Leon Samuels, real good board points, good at pen points, and wicked times. Leon Samuels, the guy's got such a big motor for a wee fella. I don't know where he puts it all, but up the neck he goes. Into the base of the ear and into the base of the ear again, around the back of the head. Jimmy Samuels, though, he's punching into the first front shoulder. So Jimmy round into the long blow first this time again. So Jimmy just making up for that loss of time he had on that bad sheep. Up the undermine for David Gordon. Top of the head comes off. Daniel McIntyre finishing touches. And he is in for sheep number 7, I think. Out on the board he backs David Gordon round the back of the head. Leon Samuels right down onto the back leg, so he's stayed just a couple of shots of Jimmy. Jimmy over the tail and out, but out for Leon Samuels. In goes Tamanea, but he's on sheep number 7 now. Down the last front shoulder pause, Nathan Stratford. Jimmy Samuels, Leon Samuels, Leon Samuels, Jimmy Samuels. Who's it going to be, folks? Into the first hind leg for the big-hearted Leon Samuels. Way up the undermine he rolls. 1, 2 big sweeping blows, and Jimmy Samuels right there with him. The two brothers having a bit of a ding-dong. They probably did this when they were kids over their teddy bears. Round the back of the head for Leon. Into the first front shoulder for Jimmy. Swinging around, who's it going to be? Jimmy Samuels into the long blow. Leon Samuels into the long blow. Jimmy, though, a couple of shots out. He stepped across, and he's going to turn for home very shortly. But here comes Leon Samuels as well. Turning for home on stand number 3. Cheek comes off. Who's got the best last side out of the two brothers? Down they pour. Oh, Jimmy Samuels right down to the back leg. Just pulled Leon back by a shot or two. Jimmy Samuels going to go over the button, folks. Row, here he goes. Time taken on stand 4. Right out to the toe for Leon Samuels. Look at the finish on that sheep, though. Keep an eye on those points upstairs, Kerry.
Oh, great shearing by the two Samuel boys. And ladies and gentlemen, what a treat we have in store for you tonight. It is only heat number 2. And you know what? When we go into the semi-finals, ladies and gentlemen, the time will get even faster. And there we go. Nathan Stratford, the boy from the Invercargill. Very, very good points. Look up there, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Stratford, 1.0 on the board. Incredible shearing, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we were in for a heck of an evening. Daniel McIntyre, sheep number 8 on the board for him. Under the final shoulder he goes. The boy from Australia, down and out the flank going, crikey, boys, what the heck has just hit me? Incredible speed there. Down and out the flank, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Daniel McIntyre.
Yeah, you witnessed a pretty good shear here. You watch young David, one of our Masterton hopefuls here, doing a good job with finishing touches for Tamanen here down the far end in 9 minutes and 38.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, these boys are really putting on a show for you. We've got Nathan Stratford. Nathan Stratford is a super renowned man for his quality. And if you want to beat Nathan Stratford, you really need to wrap sheep around him. That's the way it usually goes, isn't it, Gerald? Turn the mic on, Gerald.
Shout.
You've got to keep it a wee bit human. You need a few mistakes. We don't want this too robotic, do we? That happens. So you're talking about Nathan Stratford. Yeah, he's actually, they're under huge training regimes, these boys, so it's not just happening by shearing a few sheep in the shed. To have that X factor and do as well as some of these athletes are, they're training like every athlete, okay? They're in the gym, they're doing cardio, they're eating well, drinking 8 glasses of water a day, all those sorts of things. So we've swapped round.
Number 6, mate.
Come on, we better keep the same. We don't want to change anything, buddy.
Okay, so these guys are ready. We've got the thumbs up to bring these guys on. On stand number 6, ladies and gentlemen, from Te Kuiti, James Rookie. Give him a hand.
From Pleasant Point, Ant Frew was on the front stand. Come on down, Ant Frew.
Stand number 5, from Whangamomana, Gavin Much, ladies and gentlemen.
On stand 2, from Te Kuiti, Mark Granger. Come on down, Mark.
On stand number 4, can you hear the V8s rumbling? It's the Roland Smith, ladies and gentlemen, rolling with it.
And it's got a beautiful ring about it from Pongaroa, David Buick, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that is a lineup, another lineup. Okay, over to the shearing commentators, Kerry, Norm and John.
Well, we've seen 2 exciting heats so far, Kerry. I'm picking that this one in the middle could be a little bit more tense than we expect. I think some of the figures that are going to come out on this one are going to be short and fast. What do you reckon?
Well, just looking at the field, John, we've got our current Golden Shears champion on stand number 4, as in Roland Smith. We have a ex-world champion up there as well, as in Gavin Much. Mark Granger made the final last year, and so did David There's going to be some very, very good shearing in this heat, and we are waiting for a start.
So we'll get out on the board, boys. Gavin Much is out. If he's happy, we should all be happy. Mark Granger backs out, and through from Pleasant Point in the south. Go the south, Ant. Go the south. Always seems to perform out of his skin here at the Golden Shears. Sean in the top 30 the last few years. Rolly's out. Come on, guys. We'll get out on the board and we'll get into it, eh? Let's not keep this crowd waiting.
A little bit of stamping of the foot. Young bulls pouring at the door. That's what we like to see. Timekeepers right. Judges, competitors, go. Here, heat number 3. Haley's Golden Shears top 30. Top time expected here to come probably in this one. A little bit of an advantage of Shearing a little bit further down the track than heat 1 or 2 because they know the quality that's required. They know the time they've got to achieve, and they know the number of points they're allowed to occur without missing out on the top 12. So the top 12 is the next step, ladies and gentlemen, as we rock into this first sheet now. We'll have it out in about 48, 50 seconds, I presume, as into the long blow goes and few. Mark Granger there on 2. David Buick. Rolly Smith hit the last side of Revy. Gavin Much winds down the last side. Look out for James Rookie. The lad from Tikawiti is down on the far stand. He's going to bounce it out in 49 second, 50 second. James Rookie!
James Rookie's on fire, Rod. To stay with Gavin Much on sheep number 1 is no mean feat, that's for sure. Out comes Mark Granger and Roland Smith together. In goes David Buick and Frew together. Out on the board with the sheep number 2, the whole field now, but first time league for James Rookie. Fantastic share of that man. And like they say, if you're going to do something, you might as well look good doing it. And he looks fantastic while he's doing it. Beautiful rhythm, beautiful style. Just flows it off. Round the back of the head he rolls. And Gavin Much right there as well. But up comes Roland Smith. Mark Granger from Tikwiti there on stand number 2. Round into the first front shoulder. Roland Smith. First front shoulder as well, and in comes David Buick and Frew, but it's still the 2 guys on the bottom stands. James Rookie down over the last front shoulder, and Gavin Much right there with him. Nothing between these 2 shears. James Rookie just out in front, still low. The rest of the field trailing behind, but not far away. 1:50 gone on the clock. Let's get him out the hole, boys. James Rookie will oblige. Out it goes into the pen for sheep number 2. Gavin Much there as well, but the rest of the field catching up a little bit. Mark Granger got the hammer down, so's David Buick, and so's Roland Smith, of course. And down pours and Frew, right out onto the hind leg, making a beautiful job he is as he sweeps across the leg of that one. All on the board with 3 now, Kerry, but it's still James Rook as he hits the top of the head.
That's right, Norman. Once again, we are looking for our top 12 shearers. These 2 boys down on 5 and 6, they're going hammer and tong. But I tell you, Roland Smith, David Buick, Mark Granger, they're coming. And Frew, he's a blow or 2 behind. Nothing separating these top 6 shearers at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Rounding into the long blow, Roland Smith. Rounding into the long blow, Gavin Much. But it's still the boy down there on stand number 6. Down and out the flank he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful, beautiful shearing by these very, very good shearers. Down and out the flank. Finishing touches there. And Roland Smith, who will be into the pen. He is our current Golden Shears champion, ladies and gentlemen. Into the pen, Gavin Much. Into the pen, David Buick. Cracking pace these boys are setting, ladies and gentlemen. I did tell you this is going to be a cracking top 30 heat, ladies and gentlemen. Heat number 3 we are on in this Bailey's Open top 30 shearing. Around and down and into the long blow goes James Rookie down there on stand number 6. The boy from Scotland, Gavin Much. He said, not without me you don't. And Roland Smith, he's a silent assassin. He won't be saying too much. He will be letting his shearing do the talking for him. Down and over the brisket he goes. David Buick, down and into the long blow he goes. Mark Granger, He was a finalist here last year. The question is he good enough to go through again? And looking at that sheep, John, I reckon that is a pretty well-shorn sheep.
Is this James Rookie's night? I tell you what, he's sure 4 sheep in under 4 minutes, and that's no mean feat when you get up against these strong Wairarapa sheep. And he's still leading the way. Gavin Much is coming out after him, though. Here goes Rolly Smith. Then Davy Burke follows in. Mark Granger starting to lift the game here on the 2. And through down, and he bounces in for number 5. What is there? About 12 shots between the whole field here at the moment. Here comes the Much man from the Naki into the long blow. He might have picked up Rookie this time. Mark Granger says, "You're coming. I'm coming with you, lads." Rolly Smith there as well. Buick a little bit behind now, and through down into the big undermined. He shoots over the last side for Gavin Much. Up the far end on 6 is Rookie under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. To the top of the shoulder, Mark Granger. Still got 3 at the pen. Rolly Smith coming out the last leg now. Oh, Gavin Much goes in by half a shot, is it? Here comes Mark Granger. Roland Smith. Together they go in, and David Buick coming over the shoulder. You needn't get it behind your close neighbour.
So Rolly Smith with a change of steel there on stand number 4. Way down the belly he goes, cost him a second or 2, but the other boys will probably do it as well. Sheep 6 it is on the board. Sheep 6 about to come out for David Buick. Yep, change of handpiece here for the big fella on stand number 3 from Pornaroa. Right out onto the board with the 6 sheep now, so the whole field, except for Ant Frew on 6. So Ant down the last side he pulls. He's not going to be long getting it out, that's for sure. Another couple of blows for him, but way into the longbow now. Gavin Much is winding into it. He's pulled back. James Rookie down there. Yes, he has, down over the last front shoulder for the Scotsman, the flying Scotsman. Round comes Mark Granger. Mark's had the hammer down, but so is Roland Smith. Roland Smith coming back at him, the current champ, under the front leg and away down the last side he paws. So not much in it now as Gavin Much heads in. Muchy in front now. The too much Gavin Much. Now James Rookie heads in. Roland Smith not far away. Mark Granger there as well. In goes Rolly Smith. But still, Gavin Much, he just chucking the steel in there, Kerry.
Oh, incredible shearing by the Scottish man. And up in there the neck he goes. But he knows he's got to shear like a demon. Those bandpipes are blowing. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the 6 shearers, what a heat we have got here, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Bailey's Open top 30 shearing, ladies and gentlemen. Cracking event this is. Down and into the long low goes Roland Smith. Down the last side comes the boy Gavin Much. Down and out the flank he goes. Finishing touches for him. He will be in for his open final sheep. James Rookie down there on stand number 6. He said, "Not without me, Much you don't. Not without me. I'm going to come right back at you." Roland Smith, he's right there as well. Under the final shoulder goes Mark Granger. Sheep 7 on the board for these boys. Down and out the flank. Sheep 8 on from the board for Roland Smith. Sheep 8 on the board for Gavin Much. Sheep 8 on the board for James Rookie. Down and around the long blow goes Gavin Much. Cracking final there, John.
Rookie hasn't given up yet. He had that early pace over 4 sheep until Gavin Much starting to wide into it now. He's still on the same steel. Rolly Smith is on the fresh handpiece. Who's got the fastest last side finish? Is Mark Granger. Had a little bit of a movement there with his sheep earlier, and he got him behind the pace a little bit. David Buick's picked him up here on the front stand. One still in the pen for Ant Frew, and over the shoulder comes Rolly Smith, but it's still Gavin Much down on stand number 5. Who's going to hold it? Oh, Rolly had to pop the head. Is it going to be Much or is it going to be Smith? Whoa, just a half, 2 blows in it. And Rookie comes out the last leg, putting it a hell of a shear by golly down on stand number 6, Lord. This guy has really set the cat among the pigeons here now.
Oh, he certainly has. He just strokes it off James Rookie. Beautiful style, as does David Buick. Right out to the toe. He's right there with Mark Granger this time. David Buick, Mark Granger. David Buick it is, reaches for the button. And Mark Granger, another shot. Hits the time clock as well. His time is stopped, folks. He can stretch his back, and they can watch Ant Frew come home. Don't count this fella out, though. He's made the semi-finals here before. Round the back of the head and into the first front shoulder for Ant Frew. Always seems to come out of his skin here at the Golden Shears. Put a bit of pressure on this guy, and he goes all right. Long blow time. and through from Pleasant Point. Another couple of shots and he turns for home. The rest of the shearers sucking in some oxygen. 8 sheep is a bit of a sprint for them, but still not easy in the company they're keeping, I'll tell you that. And through, down the last side he pours. Right out onto the leg, another couple of shots for him. And that red button will be getting pushed behind him. Time clock stop for Anfru. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic heat.
Boy, Bailey's getting their money out of this one. 30 terrific shearers up before us, and we've had 3 heats of them. Boy, I hope they paid a pretty penny for it. It's a top spot.
Certainly is, and we do thank Bailey's once again for sponsoring this event, supporting our open grade shearers. Fantastic sponsorship from those guys.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you please give those first 3 heats of open shearers another round of applause? We're going to have a little bit more entertainment. We've got Jerome and Linnell Lupa, and they are a brother and sister combo. They're going to give us 3 songs.
So here we are, halfway through the top 30 at the 2020 Golden Shears Championship, 60th birthday, and by geez, things are really rocking on here. So we've been through 3 heats already, but I'm really pleased to be able to welcome to the green room Snow Quinn, another one of our living legends. And Snow, you've been a 6 times Golden Shears champion, a world champion. What does it feel like to be back here?
Well, it doesn't feel any different to when I first came here. It's such a wonderful place to be in, and it hasn't changed a lot over the years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, so you were telling me before, you first came up in 62, was it?
1962 was my first trip here, and it was my first trip really away from home in the King Country.
Wow. And then this is where you met your lovely?
I met her in 1962, the love of my life.
Yeah, yeah. And things have kept going onwards and upwards for you ever since?
Yes, I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, so you were telling me before about your family. What's your...
I've got 2 boys, 2 girls, 11 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. So I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, that's priceless, isn't it? They're real treasures. So, Snow, when you first came to Golden Shears, what's sort of been some of the biggest changes you've seen in your time? I mean, it's always still a lovely feeling to come and you walk in those doors, but what's been some of the changes you've seen?
Well, there hasn't been a lot of changes. With the point scoring and all that, they've got a lot quicker and a lot more sophisticated.
Yeah.
But overall, it's still very much the same.
Yeah. Some of the things that we've kind of seen in this 60th birthday year is a real increase in the number of women shearing.
Well, there's no reason why women can't shear, because shearing's quite a physical job, but there's a lot of it is balance.
Yes, yes. Balance and technique?
Yes, technique and balance. It's still reasonably hard work, but there's no reason why women couldn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. It just seems like now it seems to have all risen to the top for some reason. I mean...
True.
Yeah.
Well, there's more of them doing it now, I presume.
Yes, yes. Well, there was a third of the entrants in the junior and the novice were women, young women.
Well, that's quite a few, isn't it?
It was a fair number.
Compared to the early days where you probably only had 1 or 2.
Yeah, yeah. And some of those women you would have worked with back in the day as well? Who sort of stands out for you as...
Well, the most the best woman that I ever saw was Michelle Herricks.
Yes, of course.
And she wasn't a big girl, but she was good balance, good shearing, and a very hard-working girl.
Yes, yes. And a real... wasn't she one of the first women to get into a final at Alex, an open final?
I think she was. And when she actually got into those finals, there were some very good shearers around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I hope you're listening out there, Michelle. We're singing your praises, even still to this day, by the famous Snow Quinn. And
she got runner-up in the fine wall to some very, very good shearers.
Yes,
so
yes.
She's a very good shearer.
Yeah, would have been lovely to have seen her around. I don't get down south that much anymore, but big shout out to you, Michelle, wherever you may be. But even at the World Championships in France last year, Snow, there were, it was impressive the number of women that were representing the different countries.
Well, there's no reason why they shouldn't.
No, that's right. Well,
no, not really.
Yeah, and I guess we kind of really stand with that these days a lot more too. So you've got some friends down there. Who's all here with you?
Well, I'm with Martin Nartaki at the moment, Tom Bro and his wife.
Yeah.
And Ken Pike, some of the oldies.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, they're just such wonderful names that we've seen and admired from the audience.
No, we're very lucky to be here.
Yeah, no, well, we're very lucky to be here. Snow, is there anything you want to say before we track ourselves back to the stadium?
No, not really. Just everybody enjoy the night and enjoy the experience of being here.
Oh, thank you. Well, look, on behalf of Sam Saunders and his team here from Golden Shears, it is a privilege to have you here. We're feeling so grateful that you and your mates have made the big effort to be here, and we wish you all well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Lovely to have you.
Property. It's one of the most fiercely competitive markets in New Zealand. And that's why we at Bailey's continue to work to rise above the competition. We pride ourselves on being better, on doing our best to build on our hard-earned reputation every day. Since 1999, we've had a dedicated team of country experts whose skills and know-how have made us leaders in the field. We represent every sector of the rural landscape, from large-scale farms, stations, forestry, vineyards and specialty rural properties to lifestyle blocks and homes in the country. And we treat every single one with our legendary professionalism and integrity, whatever the scale. No one knows this market quite like us. We go above and beyond, time after time, day after day, year after year, to achieve the best possible results for our clients. That's why we're the nation's #1 rural real estate brand. Bailey's Country. We're altogether better.
Hi, I'm Brent Gear, and we're going to find out today a little bit more about what Trust House is and how much they contribute to the community. I'm here with Alan from Trust House to find out a little bit more about what Trust House is.
Yeah, thanks Brent. Trust House Limited is a community-owned organisation. We own, operate and manage close to $100 million of community-owned assets. Masterton Community Trust is a major shareholder and we distribute over $4 million back to the communities in which we trade.
Tell us about the Trust House Foundation. How does that work?
Yeah, Trust House Foundation distributes annually close to $4 million back by the way of grants through its gaming operations. And we have gaming operations that spread as far as, Pururua, right up to Paetua in northern Wairarapa.
It sounds like everything Trust House does is about the community.
Yeah, Trust House's core purpose is to enhance community well-being. That's one of the fundamental cores of the organisation. And we're immensely proud of what we put back into this community. Last year, over $4.2 million was returned back to the communities in which we trade in. Myself and all of the staff and stakeholders that are associated with Trust House are immensely proud of what we do.
Our bodies are the tool that make us our money, like that's what's making me my money, is me going to work, and shearing sheep, and if I can't look after my body and if I don't you know, go to the mechanics every now and then and get a tune up and just look after things, and then it's not going to work for very long. You blow your wrist, you might be out for 3 weeks, you know, and that might be the busiest time of your year when you're out. So you spend half an hour watching these videos and doing a bit of research on it and doing the exercise and stuff. You know what, you might save yourself, you know, 3 weeks off work or whatever, you know, and make yourself a bit stronger and a weak point.
We have got a history of injuries and perhaps not looking after ourselves. There's now tools available, and tahi na tahi is one of them, where you can get that education without too much grief.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you've been in the game 5 minutes or 50 years, you're always learning, and tahi na tahi just reiterates that fact.
The tahi na tahi program, one of the great things about it is we get a little paranoid about maybe being in a group, and so I mean you can go online in your own time and sit through it and take what you want out of it or what you may need.
Well, tahi na tahi, from my point of view, is going to be pretty good for our younger shearers coming through the industry. They're looking after them, they're teaching them.
There's a lot of kids out there that they're not too sure what they want to do, but you know, you can make good money, travel. Like, this is a pretty cool lifestyle if you can get up at 5 o'clock every morning and work hard. If you can do that, which a lot of kids out there can, I think we can definitely, there's a lot more people out there that would suit the industry.
Yeah, tahi na tahi will help with our staff recruitment, you know, just letting people know that we are looking out for them. It is a safe, you know, a safe place to work. Yeah, the more we use it, the better it'll get.
For me, it was a good refresher. There's a lot of those things in those videos you actually forget about. Yeah, I fit it in on the days off. I'm a busy man myself. I like being out on the hill hunting and out in the beach diving. But I used it as a tool to remember things that I forgot throughout my career. It's actually real good to have, to be honest. Yeah.
It makes it easy.
Property. It's one of the most fiercely competitive markets in New Zealand. And that's why we at Bailey's continue to work to rise above the competition. We pride ourselves on being better, on doing our best to build on our hard-earned reputation every day. We're New Zealand's largest full-service real estate brokerage. We work across residential, commercial, rural and business sales, property management, leasing, renting and more. So our ability to connect New Zealanders to each other, to opportunities, is second to none. Since 1999, we've had a dedicated team of country experts whose skills and know-how have made us leaders in the field. We represent every sector of the rural landscape, from large-scale farms, stations, forestry, vineyards and specialty rural properties to lifestyle blocks and homes in the country. And we treat every single one with our legendary professionalism and integrity, whatever the scale. Over time, our country team has formed strong links within rural communities, supporting many charitable organisations, schools, sports teams and events across the country. You'll find us in all major cities, provincial towns and regions from the far north to the deep south. All of our agents have a passion and a knowledge for their local region. They collaborate with other agents and officers and support staff from the wider business to attract more sellers, to bring in more buyers and to close more deals for our clients. No one knows this market quite like us. We go above and beyond, time after time, day after day, year after year.
Okay, we'll hand you back over to the shearing commentators. Enjoy.
Thanks, guys. Another fantastic lineup there, guys. Youth and experience mixed up there once again. Digger Balm, Dion King, Axel Reid. Plenty of experience against them, amongst them fellas. Jack Fagan and Brett Roberts. Hugh DeLacy, three of our best young up-and-coming shearers. Brett Roberts, one of our strongest South Island shearers. Hugh DeLacy. We're going to see a lot more from this young fella in years to come, I reckon. And Jack Fagan, of course, he's blazing his own trail in the open grade of shearing. All around the world, this guy travels, and acquits himself very, very well on the shearing board.
Well, yeah, he's turned into a bit of a speed shear freak, and but he's more than capable of handling an open final as well. Yes, you talk about Hugh de Lacy. You got a couple of South Islanders to get on to this time, Norman. Let's hope you don't stutter and leave them a little bit out of the call.
Go the South.
There you go. You know you're already on your way. But there are other contestants here. We have one more heat following this, so it's going to be interesting. We do have a green light, so as soon as we can have our shearers on the board, we will set this one a go. The old warhorse Diggerbalm. He's just getting his wheels on the train track in there, so he can get in and out of the pen pretty quickly. He can't be perspiring anytime he normally comes up there with the old flash headband on. He'll suck up a bit of sweat. But we're good to go. Everybody happy? Timekeeper's right. Judges, competitors, go! In there once again, into the pens they go. Jack Fagan from Tikawiti on the front stand. Diggerbalm, the Otrahonga man. Experience and power. And he'll be there when the whips are cracking right at the end. The youngsters, Brent Roberts from Mataura, Sean all the last couple of days for the Woolhandlers. So he'll be fit to go. Axel Reid, the big powerhouse from the centre of the island, but shifted across to Waipawa these days. Round the back of that he comes. Dion King, a pass winner here at the Golden Shears. Starting to get a couple of grey tatters in his hair, but he's got the power and the skill, and look at him goes. He turns onto the last side, first to come. Up down the far end, we have the man on stand number 6. Going pretty well. It's Hugh de Lacy, the youngster, under the shoulder. Doing pretty well, and he's down on out to the flank. And we got the fastest time so far. Diggerbalm, is it? No, it's going to be Brent Roberts and Dion King. They've gone in pretty close together. Here they come on the front. Jack Fagan gone in. Diggerbalm. Axel Reid next in line. Oh, Hugh de Lacy snuck in before I could catch him. He'll be trying. They've got 8 of these woolies to shear, the same as the previous heats. So we'll see how this one pans out. It wouldn't have been 50-odd seconds. It was a little bit slower than the first heat, Norm. Haven't got the clock on these fellas at the moment, but they are going to go stronger and stronger because they know what the points are from those other competitors.
Oh, yes, they do. They've had the luxury of watching the other first 3 heats, but they've got to do the bizzo up there now. They want to get through into the top 12, that's for sure. So Diggerbalm way through the long blow, Brett Roberts. Long blow time for Dion King as well. Down over the shoulder, but leading the field is young Hugh de Lacy down the far side. I'm absolutely rapt to see this young guy on the top 30 at the Golden Shears. Down the last side he pours. Right into the back leg. This will be the first time he's ever shorn up here in the open, that's for sure. Another couple of shots. Dion King, he's right there with him. In goes Brett Roberts. And Diggerbalm, they call him the warhorse with good reason. He's a horse and he's fought more battles than just about all these shearers put together probably. So Diggerbalm down the belly, flicks it out and into the first hind leg, but Brett Roberts beats him to the punch, or not really, actually blow for blow to be fair. Up the undermine, 1-2, top of the head they come up together, but Dion King has already opened it up, so Dion King starting to put the gas on a bit. Hugh de Lacy into the base here and around the back of the head, but King swings into the shoulder already. Dion King lays it into the long blow, but Brett Roberts chasing hard. This young man from Matota in the deep south, Kerry, is on fire, and he has been for a wee while now.
Oh, that's right. The big fella, Brett Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. The boy from the deep south, under the final shoulder. Down and out the flank he goes. These boys on stands 3 and stands 5, right there with each other, blow for blow. And Diggerbalm said, not without me, you don't, you Matara boy. Into the pen they go. Sheep number 4 on the board. Hugh de Lacy down there on stand number 6. First time in the big smoke. He has made the top 30 and he is absolutely stoked with that. Come on, Q-Dog. I want to see you go one further. Off comes the belly and down the first leg he goes. but it's the boy Dion King leading the field at the moment. Brett Roberts right there as well, up and round the shoulder, but it's Dion King. First one down into the long low. Sheep 4 of 8 in the pen this year, ladies and gentlemen. In the top 30, Bailey's Open, heat number 4 we are. Down and over the brisket they go. Dion King, Brad Roberts, blow for blow. Hugh DeLacy into the long blow, he goes. Axel Reed, sheep number 4 for him. Round and drops down into the long blow, he goes. Digger Bum, he's right there as well. He's been a finalist many a time here before. Is he going to make it again? Time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. The boy from the Tikawiti, the Fagan, sheep number 4 on the board. Down and out the flank he goes. Digger Bum onto the board he comes. Sheep number 5 on the board for him. But it's still the boys. Brett Roberts, Dion King. What a top 30 we've got, John.
Fagan's gone for a little bit of spook in this one. He's changed his steel. Here he comes. The Tikawiti lad now rolling down the first off leg. Dion King, though, still out in front. It's a few years back since he won this one as he rocks onto the last side now. He's got away from Brent Roberts. Still on the hunt down the far end is Hugh DeLacy. Rangiora up the long blow. He starts to swing. Digger Balm up the long blow. Axel Reed, the undermine on stand number 4. Into the off shoulder and the long blow now for Jack Fagan as King goes out the last leg. He's still happy with his steel at the moment. Digger Balm chasing hard on the 2 stand. Brent Roberts goes in with some fresh blade on now. 13 teeth in this comb and a 4-prong cutter. Is he going to make it any difference and catch up those 7 or 8 blows he's behind? 3.5 shots down the belly he goes as Dion King rolls up the undermine. One either side of the backbone he goes, steps forward up the neck. A quite difficult part of the sheep we're going to be seeing shorn now from Dion King as he breaks open the neck wall and swings his arm around the back of the ears, holding slightly onto that left area of the sheep as he swings it with his right hand, the handpiece down into that first off shoulder, turning away from the crowd, and he can't see him, but he's powering up with big full combs. Look at that fella down on stand number 6. So he's coming back down there. Hugh DeLacy round the first off shoulder he comes. He's gone past Digger Balm this time round. Brent Roberts is still chasing hard on the 3rd. Right over the top. Sheep number 6 almost done. Jack Fagan 6 half shorn up here on the front. Turning for home is Hugh DeLacy, but Dion King out the last leg and he's still banging it out. 6 and 25 as he goes down the hole.
Change of steel on there for Dion King. Steps into the pen and out again. Doesn't muck around this man. Everything he does is efficient. Out on the board for Brett Roberts. Big Brett Roberts from Matoto in the deep south on stand number 3. Away he goes. He's really hitting the straps in the open grade now as Brett Roberts, and he can go all the way, I can tell you that. Way into the first hind leg he winds. He's got quality as well as speed. And up the neck he steps. Now comes up comes Dion King. Dion had a change of handpiece though. Round the back of the head for Brett Roberts, round the back of the head for Dion King. Now Axel Reed, way down, just having a bit of a kicker there and hasn't left him alone yet, but he'll get it off. Axel Reed strong enough to sort that out. And around through into the first hind leg. Just push that leg forward to keep it under control. It's going to niggle him all the way, I think, the sheep. Didn't need that, but he's good enough to get around it without it worrying him too much. Into the top of the head, he has to lift the sheep up a wee bit to get it sorted. And up the neck he steps. Digger Balm winds his way up the long blow of sheep number 7. Another couple of shots. And Brett Roberts. Oh, Dion King's got a difficult sheep as well. Brett Roberts out on the board though, Kerry. And number 8 it is for the young man from the deep south. Oh, the south.
Great shearing there by Big Brett Roberts, ladies and gentlemen. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? These are the best shearers in the world. They are here in Masterton. Golden Shears 2020. Heat number 4 in our top 30 of the Bailey's Open, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the big fella from Mataria, ladies and gentlemen. Down and into the long blow. He said, you were with me, Dion King. I am going to put the pressure on you. Come on, Dion King. What have you got? What do you got, Dion? Come on, my boy. Bore it in. But it's going to be the big fella from Mataria, ladies and gentlemen. Down and out the flank he goes. finishing touches. He will look for a time clock. Brad Roberts. And down the last side, finishing touches there for the Dion King.
Hugh Lacey right behind him. Diggerbaum on the two-stand, coming over the last side. Jack Fagan's on the money side as well. A very tight field. Axel Reed's into the long blow in his 8th and final. Out the last leg comes Digger. How do you beat a sweat on the old fighter there as he goes down the porthole? Or the sheep goes down the porthole. Jack Fagan finishing touches up on the front. Welsh on Jacko. Down here, there's Axel Reed. Had that little bit of a niggly one halfway through. He regained composure, ladies and gentlemen. No effort to these experienced competitors. A big round of applause. Awesome shear.
Whoa. Got my mic on. I said to him, hold on, Tim, I can't see. I'm going to borrow someone else's reading glasses. There's bound to be a couple of people out here with a set. I can put them on my head so I can see if my mic's on or off. Hey? Should have asked before. That could have saved a wee bit of embarrassment.
Brett Roberts. What a hell of a shear.
What a shear. Yeah, he's they set it up here, didn't they? He's
Go to the south.
Fuck. He's going for that boy. He's on fire. On fire. Right, a lot of heat up here under the bright lights without even shearing. Just waiting for the nod. We got the call from Alan Precious to say we're good to go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on stand number 6. He is a local boy, so give him a big hand. Ethan Pankhurst, ladies and gentlemen, from Masterton.
From Wairarapa, Bart Hadfield, folks. Give it up for Bart.
Stand number 5 from Amberley, Troy the Pied Piper, ladies and gentlemen.
From Fielding, he's halfway down the aisle. He's keen to go. Aaron Haynes. Come on, Aaron, you got a spring in your step, mate.
And on stand number 4, he won the speed share last night. He's a contractor from Masterton, Wairarapa Abraham, ladies and gentlemen.
Keep the noise going from Seddon. Angus Moore is here too, folks. Come on up, Angus.
We got 2 locals in here. We want to hear some noise. We want to lift the roof off this place, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the last chance for them, unfortunately. As they've told us, we're going to get down to 12. It is unfortunate, but that's how it rolls in competitive sport. We've got to keep on eliminating them. That was a good run. Enjoy again. Thank you.
If we lift the roof off, it might just destroy the lighting system, so we'll just get it to waver a little bit so the power cables don't break, all right? We've got our shearers in the pens now. The last heat of this quarter-final, the top 30. Barton Hadfield up the front for Wairarapa. Aaron Haynes, the local lad, just up the road in Fielding. Angus Moore from across the ditch there in Seddon. Then we've got the bit of local talent, Wairarapa Abrahams. Troy Piper from down on Amberley in the south. And Ethan Pankhurst, another local, about to give us a fine demonstration of their athletic ability. They are supreme athletes, these shearers. They go to work, they train every day. They get home from work and they go to the gym. A little bit more than I used to do. I used to go home and feed the dogs and have a quiet one. But there was always a mob of sheep or something like that to shear. So,
or 2.
Professional shearers are up before us at the moment. Except we've got this bit of an old codger up here in the front, Bart Hadfield. He wants to make a comeback. He's been there, done that, record holder of the works, shearing judge, father of some great kids. And the youngsters have been performing before us in the last little while. We have a green light, we have the thumbs up. So if we could just have a little bit of hush for the last heat, be awesome. Timekeeper's good. Judges, competitors, go! Here they come out now. They know what's all before them. 6 of these powerful woolies and 13 tooth comb to tear the wool of it in workmanlike fashion, staying above the red stuff. Down the first off leg, they all starts to swing in motion here. Angus Moore a little bit slower to settle into the rhythm, but he likes to do it that way. Work his way into the job, and he'll come about sheep number 5 with a bit of luck. He starts to pick up the pace about that time. Bart Hadfield on the front here into the first off shoulder. Aaron Haynes, he's working hard. Look at those sinews just pumping there. Those veins will be sticking out on his wrists and arms before he's finished this one. Pirata Abraham's a very quick shearer from Masterton. Down and out to the flank he goes. Working away pretty hard. He's going to be out first in for the new blood. Look at him go, Pirata Abraham. What about Ethan Pankhurst down there? Troy Piper, the lad from the south. Here goes Haynes in here on the front. Bart Hadfield, a couple of shots to go. Right with him is Angus Moore from Seddon. Gee, they're knocking in. The Pankhurst goes now. What do we get? Just over a minute on that one. They will pick it up, Norm, I'm sure. You watch this Pirata Abraham strike his top notes.
Oh, yeah. Pirata Abraham. He's a speedster. We've seen him up here on this big stage at Golden Shears, and it's his hometown. Means so much to him. It would mean so much to him to make the Urban final tonight. Round or tomorrow, but he's got to qualify through the next round, I suppose. Pirata Abraham winds his way up the backbone. And Troy Piper does the same. Troy Piper's a strong contender as well, folks. Turns for home and onto the last cheek. Round comes Aaron Haynes very shortly. Bart Hadfield, don't count this fella. Oh, he's got a bit of a kicker though. Get it under control. His experience will get him through there. And right out over the tail though this time for Troy Piper and Pirata Abraham as Troy Piper coming back at him. Pirata just had a bit of a niggle and a wriggle, and then Troy's wouldn't go out the hole, so it sort of evened itself up a wee bit. Angus Moore right out to the back leg with Aaron Haynes and Ethan Pankhurst, the local man down there on the far stand, back out onto the ball to sheep number 3. Aaron Haynes backs out. Angus Moore backs out. Bart Hadfield's heads in. 3 on the board for all these competitors now, and it's still Pirata Abraham as he steps through and up the neck. Up comes Troy Piper. North-south, south-north, nothing between these two men. Troy Piper from Amberley in North Canterbury. Round the back of the head he rolls. Pirata Abraham all the way from Masterton, Kerry.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have your favourite boy in the house at the moment, down there on stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen. If you've never seen shearing like this before, I want to hear you support your local boy. Down and out the flank he goes. Pirata Abraham smoking along. Down and out the flank he goes. Woo-hoo-hoo! Into the pen he goes. Sheep number 4 of... He said, don't worry, mate, I got it under control. Sheep number 4 on the board for him. 8 in the pen this year, ladies and gentlemen. This is your top 30. If you have not been entertained, you ain't been watching very hard. Down and out the flank goes Angus Moore. Down and out the flank goes Aaron Haynes. Into the pen he goes. Bart Hadfield. Down and out the flank he goes. Angus Moore, out into the pen he comes. But it's still the boy down on stand number 4, ladies and gentlemen. I believe he might be a local boy. Is he a local boy? I can't hear you. Come on, get him behind him. Down and over the brisket he goes. Troy Piper said, not without me, you know, man. I'm down into the long blow. Old Ethan Pankhurst, he's a local boy as well. Down and into the long blow he goes. Down and over the brisket he goes. Change a handpiece here by Pie. Into the pen he goes.
Yeah, I can see here Pirata there. He's starting to struggle a little bit on that sheep. His gear started to go off, and he was pushing himself to keep that comb flat on the skin. He was talking to himself all the way down that last side. Here goes Troy Piper now. Pirata's got a new set of blades on though. That may make the difference, make things a little bit easier for him. Out the last leg comes Angus Moore. Haynes there with him on the second stand. Come on, Big Bart, lift your shots, mate. You need to get on with the job a bit quicker. Down under the shoulder, he's starting to gasp a little bit. Sheep number 4, still a few in the pen. Down the bottom end, Ethan Pankhurst. Good low score for these youngsters down there. Look at it. Into the long blow he comes. He's hard on the heels of our man Troy Piper from Amberley on the 5 stand. Yep, the long blow, they come together. Piper's a little couple of shots behind him. Wairarapa Abraham's driving out that last leg. Coming out after him is Pankhurst down the far end. Here comes Piper as well. Hadfield's got 5 on the board. Up the long blow comes Angus Moore. You see that door just about put the setting man into orbit as Wairarapa Abraham's bounced in. Out he comes now. Piper's right there as well. Here comes Local Man on 6. Look out, Masterton. You could have a double here.
Parata Abraham, he's been in business. He's really working hard, getting stuck into it. His whole body's going up into the base here and around the back of the head. Now Troy Piper follows him up the neck into the base here as well. Aaron Haynes hopping in and out with sheep number 6. Bart Hadfield not far away from coming out with sheep 6 as well, making a beautiful job there on the front stand. Quality's top notch. And up the undermine though for Angus Moore, the man from Masterton and Marlborough. Up, ooh, just got to settle that sheep down a wee bit. Done so. Finished the blow in around the back of the head. Cost him a second though. But Troy Piper right out onto the back leg. Sheep number 7 about to come out for Troy Piper, and he's leading the field this time. In and out he comes, the man from Amberley. Parata Abraham there as well. Parata, in and out he comes, but Troy Piper's peeled him back. Ethan Pankhurst heads in and out. Sheep number 7 on the board. These 2 Masterton men go on blow for blow. Way down the belly they go, but Troy Piper's headed them off. Up the undermine he sweeps, the big man, originally from the deep south. Done a lot of shearing in Australia, this guy, and he's back home, living up in Amberley, into the base here and around the back of the head. He's been strong in the South Island. Here he is up in the north, showing these guys a clean pair of heels, Kerry.
Oh, beautiful shearing by the boy from Amberley. Down and into the long blow he goes. Wairarapa Abraham up and around the shoulders he goes. Drops on down into the long blow. Ethan Pankhurst. Down and into the long blow he goes. Angus Moore. Undermine sign for him. Aaron Haynes. Sheep 7 on the board for him. Out comes the belly. Down the first egg he goes. But it's still the boy on stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen. Down and out the flank he goes. Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen? What a cracking heat number 5 this is in your top 30. Let's get into gear, ladies and gentlemen. Let's bring these boys home. Sheep number 8 on the board for these boys. Down and out the flank goes Angus Moore, the boy from Seddon. Under the final shoulder, finishing touches for him. Into the pen. Wairarapa Abraham, undermine sign for him. Troy Piper, up and around the shoulders. He'll take the trimming on the 4th side of the leg. Down and into the long blow he goes. Ethan Pankhurst, up and around the shoulders he goes. Works his way around the shoulder and down and into the long blow. Aaron Haynes works his way around. Finishing touches for him. He'll be in for a sheep number 8. But it's going to be, I dare say, the boy on 5. Down and out the flank, ladies and gentlemen. Troy, finish, and then it's going to be, who's going to be, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Troy Piper, just by a whisker. And then back comes Wairarapa Abraham. John, what a final series this is going to be.
Oh, Ethan Pankhurst completed the task as well. It was almost a 3-way tie there as Angus Moore's lefties run a little bit late in the speed sections, but he's keeping the job right for the judges outside, on the board at least. And he turns that machine off, the young man from Seddon. Here on the 2 stand, Aaron Haynes turns for home from fielding on stand number 2, working across that shoulder. All that left hand is doing is pushing and probing wool, pushing and probing muscles, working the sheep hard down the last side. And this one starts to dance a little bit as he just works that head forward ever so slightly, pops it forward now, comfortable for the sheep. Out the last leg for Aaron Haynes from fielding. Then we've got the Wairarapa man, Bart Hadfield, about to turn for home. Hanging in there, a little bit of perspiration coming off the nose now. He'll be deep thinking about what he's done and how he's going to go on from here. Still got a good score. He comes under the shoulder. It'll be up to the judges to get us the final order. But there's been some terrific shearing here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Some superb athletes. Some of them are going to be back, and I'm afraid it can only be 12. Good shear. Top 30, Bailey sponsored event.
Oh, welcome back. So we've just completed the top 30. Doug, what you thinking?
Well, you've just seen a pretty top share from everybody. There's been good right throughout the night, but one or two of them have had the odd sheep here and there that's been a bit tough on them. And we're just looking at the top 12 at the moment. It looks like that Roland Smith's quite clear at the top. Here we come on the screen now. There, Roland Smith, Gavin Mutch, Nathan Strafford, Brett Roberts, John Kirkpatrick, Leon Samuels, Mark Granger, Jimmy Samuels, what's that one there, Jack Fagan and James Rookie. The last two guys, an excellent share from James Rookie. He's been fairly consistent making finals and stuff around the Central North Island. Gets in the odd one, but they're about 6th, 7th, that sort of place. So it's a good sort of placing for him. Nobody really prominent has missed out at this stage. Bear in mind those results that we've just seen there, unofficial right at the moment. It'll be checked off fairly shortly.
Wow, unofficial. It went so fast I didn't even catch half of them. All I see is that Rolly and Gavin are right in the mix, as they should be, right at the top there, Doug.
Yeah, indeed. What the interesting part is we've got that big Southland Challenge here tonight. Nathan Strafford, of course, runner-up last year. Leon Samuels just recently won 2 competitions, his first 2 wins for years. Goodies down at Balclutha and at Gore. And of course, Brett Roberts. All had very good shares. They look like all 3 of them are in the top 6. And that's where they want to be this time late tomorrow afternoon after the semi-finals.
Yes, so are there any surprises in that, really?
Not really at the end of the day. No, Roland's he's carrying it all at the moment. Obviously, he's justifying that favouritism, $1.16 earlier in the day at the TAB. I don't know whether they'll pull that down even further, but it certainly doesn't warrant really being blown out at all on that sort of form. He's right at the top of it.
That's right. So we will wait. It shouldn't be too long before we get that a little bit more official, that official result, Doug. But I guess what we do need to remember is that we're going to be very shortly going into presentations. And then after that, we've got this Trans-Tasman, and that's going to be a big one.
Exactly. The Woolhandling's been part of these Trans-Tasman since about 1997. New Zealand's won about 3/4 of them, as I've said before. Australia's picked up a couple here in recent years. It's pretty. We've got the World Champion New Zealand team tonight, of course. Hagen Karodia and Cherie Alabaster up against Rachel Aroha, I believe. Is that right?
That's right. Rachel Hutchison and Aroha, both of actually. These 4 competitors have all been world champions or world champion competitors, haven't they?
Well, exactly. Aroha was back in the world titles years ago.
Yeah, and with that, I think what we should do is also acknowledge the managers of these teams. They're a bit of unsung heroes, and yet they're the ones that kind of do all the work. So Dave Brooker from Oxford in New Zealand for the New Zealand team, and Peter Wingfield from Australia for the Australian team. And of course we all remember really fondly Jason Wingfield. If you're listening, Jace, kia ora to you. We're missing you over here, but kind of cool to have your dad here as part of that Trans-Tasman team. So we'll wait and see how that goes.
Indeed, I think the money would be on the New Zealanders tonight, but it's like anything.
Oh, try not to be too biased, eh? Let's just wait and see. But we are dealing with 2 world champions who have proven themselves time after time in Pagan Karodia and in Cherie Alabaster. So that's going to be an exciting time. But we are gearing up now for the presentations, and that's going to be some interesting quality awards in here. Quality is really the thing that underpins it all, isn't it, Doug?
Yeah, exactly. These are major quality awards, which are based mainly on the heats, I think, across the grades.
That's right.
These awards, and that's where you do see the odd competitor come through who may not have actually got through to a final, I think.
Yes.
Some very good quality amongst those younger shearers. Some of them are perfectionists, and the real speed for them is to come in later years.
That's right. And I guess the other big thing tonight that we are waiting with bated breath is the triathlon. I mean, it's always pretty hotly contested, and there was a number of entries with wool handlers into the pressing, shearers into the pressing. It really boosted those pressing numbers as everyone really competes for that place, doesn't it?
Exactly. You see some of the quality in there. A guy like Ricky Stevens, for example, he won an open wool handling competition last weekend, beat Joel Henardy, 2 times world champion and 7 times Golden Shears Open champion.
Yeah.
But he's also been a senior shearing champion, and now shearing as an open grade competitor. And also been in those pressing finals. So I don't know what the points are shaping out like across the board there, but just simply on that, he'd have to be the favourite.
Yes, I think you're right, and part of the presentation will also be the pressing prize giving, and that was a pretty impressive show by the Goodyear brothers against the Gordon brothers that kicked the night off.
Yeah, exactly. It's quite remarkable the levels that they take it to here at Golden Shears, and it does become actually a little bit of a spectator event.
It certainly is a spectator event. Awesome, Doug. Great to just work through some of that with you. Let's get down to the stadium and as they prepare for that prize giving, and we'll come back to you a little bit later on this evening. But hope you're enjoying it, everyone. Kia ora.
To achieve the best possible result for our clients. Importantly, the team is also backed by comprehensive market research, a highly effective auctions team, and valuable marketing tools like Country Magazine. That's why we're the nation's #1 rural real estate brand. Bailey's Country. We're altogether better.
I'm here with Alan from Trust House at the Grill Solway Park, one of the many venues owned by Trust House. Alan, tell us about some of the amazing other venues that contribute back to the community by being part of the Trust House family.
We have a number of businesses throughout the region. We have the Flax and Flaxmere up in Hawke's Bay. In Pahiatua, we have the Post Office Hotel. Here in Masterton, we have the Farriers Bar and Eatery. We also have Jackson Street Bar and Kurapuni Tavern and TAB, as well as, of course, the famous Apache Jack's restaurant. Here today, we're in the very famous flagship of Trust House, the Copthorne Resort, Solway Park. In South Wairarapa, we have the Pukimano Bar and Bottle O. And we also have the E10 restaurant in Martinborough. In Purirua, we have Legend Sports Bars, and we also have some gaming interests in Tawa as well.
And it's not just venues and hospitality. What other community assets does Trust House own?
Yeah, we also own a renewable energy program over in Kurarau and with the Wairarapa, and that's a Kurarau hydro scheme.
I had no idea Trust House was behind that. So how does the community benefit?
In so many ways. We provide employment and training for over 200 staff. And of course, all the surplus profits that Trust House generates goes back to the communities in which we trade.
So when you're supporting a Trust House venue, you really are directly supporting your community. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Three dignitaries we want to acknowledge. First of all, Greg O'Connor, the Labour MP for Ohariu. Welcome, Greg. Welcome back to Masterton. Alistair Scott, the Wairarapa MP. It's fantastic to have you here. And Simon Bridges, the leader of the National Party. Wonderful to have you here, Simon. Thank you all for coming. The first presentation this evening is the FMG Shearing Quality Awards. These are awarded to the best quality points across the grades of junior, intermediate, senior and open grade. Presenting these awards is Blair Shortall, National Key Account Manager for FMG.
Thanks, Kieran. G'day everyone. FMG's association with the Golden Shears is one of our longest and most popular sponsorship events. The reason for that is because the effort that goes in by all of the locals. So I just want to say a quick congratulations to the organisers, the competitors and the volunteers, particularly the local schools that have come together tonight to make this work. I'd also like to say well done to Charlotte for working real hard on this on behalf of FMG. Happy birthday for tomorrow. And I hope that I'm a fielding boy, and I really hope that Aaron Baines can bring it home. Finally, thank you to those that support us, because what you do makes it possible for us to support this event.
Thank you, Blair. The first quality award is for the junior division, with only 2.5 penalty points. Please put your hands together from Masterton, Adam Gordon. The intermediate grade with 5.5 penalty points, another local lad, Joseph Gordon. The senior grade with 4 penalty points, Isaac Duckmanton. And in the open grade with 4 penalty points, Roland Smith. We also have the Ian McGregor Trophy. This is awarded to the Wairarapa shearer with the best quality points in the heats. Again, to Adam Gordon. Could we now please have Fiona Gower up on the board? Ladies and gentlemen, the next award is the Rural Women New Zealand Women's Shearing Quality Award. This award goes from all grades from junior to open. And presenting this is Fiona Gower, the National President of Rural Women New Zealand.
Kia ora tātou. It's a real pleasure to be here again this year. Rural Women New Zealand has been an integral part of our rural landscape for nearly 100 years. And we've been privileged to support this award for the last few years and proud to be here for the 60th. Congratulations on that. We've seen the profile of our women shearers take off since the release of the She Shares movie and the 2 world records that were set in the past few months. Congratulations to all those involved in those records, not just the shearers but the support teams behind them. And I was fortunate enough to be at both of them and see the women in action. We've seen a number of women in action here again today. They are world-class athletes with such skill, technique and tenacity, and they deserve the recognition that is now coming their way, especially as we lead up to International Women's Day on Sunday. Congratulations to all the women that are competing here during the Golden Shears. You're an inspiration to other young women and role models to the next generation of shearers. Kia ora.
Thank you, Fiona. The Rural Women New Zealand Women's Shearing Quality Award. With only 3.5 penalty points. Put your hands together for Renee Biggs. This is Simon Goss. He is receiving the award on behalf of Renee, who's gone home. But I'm sure she's watching on screen, so well done, Simon. You've done a marvellous job. Could we now please have Nahiwi Tomoana up on the board? The next presentation is the Ngāti Kahungunu Iwi Woolhandling Quality Awards. Nahiwi Tomoana, Chairman of Ngāti Kahungunu Iwi Incorporated.
Kia ora koutou. This is Ngahewe and my name's Heather Skipworth. I'm the Deputy Chair for the Kahungunu Asset Holding Company, but on behalf of Ngāti Kahungunu Iwi Incorporated, this is my first time here and I'm absolutely wow. It's amazing. It's an amazing event. It's like a world inside the big world. Why wouldn't we support an event like this? Owning Tautane Station, we're really proud to be part of this. We want to come back next year and support it again. Kia ora.
Ngāti Kahungunu Iwi Woolhandling Quality Awards for the junior grade with 40 penalty points from Masterton, Afina Edmonds. The senior grade with 43 penalty points, Sane Te Whare. And in the open grade from Ekatahuna, Emarana Braddock. We also have the additional award, the Les Field Trophy for the best quality wool handling points. And this award for the best wool handling points in the heat, Afina Edmonds. Could Mark Barracliff please make his way to the board? The next is the New Zealand Shearing Contractors Association Triathlon. This is the award for points taken from heats in shearing, wool handling and wool pressing. Presenting this is Mark Barracliff, President of the New Zealand Shearing Contractors Association.
Thank you very much. The New Zealand Shearing Contractors Association is proud to sponsor this event because, as you've seen, most people can do one thing very well. Not many people can do two things very well, but to be able to do three things very well is outstanding. And these people are very valuable to our teams. Someone you can put anywhere at any time and they can handle any job to a high level. And I'd like to put a shout out to our Tahi na Tahi crew, and together we're raising our wool shed game, so check out our stand in the back of the stage and see the attire that our commentators are wearing. Thank you, Sam and his crew.
The winner of the New Zealand Shearing Contractors Association Triathlon receives $500 with 136.2 points. From Masterton, Vinny Goodger. Vinny, mate, yes, you heard it there. You heard how much this means to the home crowd, and I can see in your face now how much this means to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Kieran. Honestly, this, I've won it 5 times, but But to retain it for the first person, to retain it for to retain it for a year, I'm really surprised. I'm not so surprised, but I'm really. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be up here and receive this award. I honestly want to thank all the competitors. I think this year might have been the best competitors' entrance for a few years, but hey, thank you very much. Let's go.
The triathlon is very tough. It's definitely taken it out of him. Could I please have Malcolm Scrimgeour or John Campbell to please make their way to the board? Could we also please have the finalists in the women's wall pressing? While the finalists for the women's wool pressing make their way to the board, this is the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand Women's Wool Pressing Final. And speaking on behalf of the sponsors, John Campbell, General Manager of Energy.
Thank you, Mayor. Kieran. Firstly, on behalf of Farmlands, I would really like to commend the Golden Shears organising team for putting on a world-class event and letting Farmlands be participating in that. To the competitors, all the competitors that have taken part over the last couple of days, fantastic effort. I commend you for the hard work that you've put in to get here and be here this evening. Farmlands has been sponsoring this event for a long time, and it's really one of the pivotal and probably our key sponsorship event over the year. So thank you very much, and to the competitors, outstanding. Good.
All set. Good on you.
The winner of the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand Women's Wool Pressing receives $300 in Farmlands vouchers. First place, Emily Tekapa. Congratulations, Emily. It seemed like you were a little bit surprised there. Did you not expect this?
I'd like to say thank you for all the other women wool handling, wool pressing in the last couple of days because they've been so supportive. I'd like to thank Powwow Mullins for all their support for the last couple of seasons. They've been great family to work with. And yeah, I'm just really nervous. Last time I was up here, I was a bit late. And I feel like I've made a few scenes on the way. But no, thank you so much, and thanks for all the sponsors and just having the wool pressing because this is a great event. Thank you.
How good is it to see yet another international winner at the Golden Shears? Congratulations. Second place and $200 in Farmlands vouchers, Kuko Namana from Masterton. Could we now please have the men's pairs wool pressing finalists up to the board? This presentation is for the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand Pairs Wool Pressing. First place receives $500 in Farmlands vouchers. plus the Sharp family silver platter. First place had penalty points of 32.2. Second place, penalty points of 58.4. Put your hands together once again for Vinny Goodger and Jeremy Goodger. Well, here we are again. Yet again, here we are at the 60th Golden Shears, and you have cemented once again the Goodger family name on this prestigious prize.
Yeah, thank you, Kieran. First of all, I'd just like to thank the sponsors, Farmland New Zealand Woolpacks, the Gordon boys. You fellas did amazing. We underestimated you for 180 kgs. They got 187, so well done, boys. I'd like to thank Vinny. He's been awesome to press with the last 7 times we won it, bro. I'm a bit laid back now, so Vinny's doing most of the work and it's getting easier for me. Yeah, we've had a few competitors over the last 2 days, and like we battle each other, but we've been battling the bar weights this year. And if you don't get bar weight, you're out of there, so it's very important. And Vinny, for singles next year, I'm coming back for you, bro. And I'd like to thank the wall pressing judges. They did an awesome job. 2 big days, so awesome, guys. Thank you.
And Vinny, are you surprised but not really?
No, I just want to congratulate the Golden boys for making it this far. It's not an easy event. When you've done it for a few years, you sort of know when Jeremy and I go together, it's not going to be easy. But hey, special thanks to the Golden boys for everything they've done. They made the final so easily. They pressed well. Thanks to the judges, the competitors, the sponsors. Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Well done, Vinny. Well done.
And it's an effort in itself to make it to the final. Put your hands together for another local pair, Adam Gordon and Joseph Gordon. And just while that photo's being taken, could we please have the finalists for the singles men's wool pressing up to the board? This is the final presentation of this stint. It is the Farmlands and Woolpacks New Zealand men's wool pressing. First place receives $700 Farmlands vouchers plus the Rere family trophy. First place had penalty points of 42.9. Second place, penalty points of 56.1. First place in the men's wall pressing, Vinny Goodger. Mate, you've done your family proud, but you've also done your region proud. What a wonderful night for you, and on the 60th year of the Golden Shears,
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kieran. I just want to say a very huge thanks to all the competitors this year. There was a very good entry fee this year, and the entries definitely made the event like it was, and just special thanks to all the entries that entered. All the judges, thank you very much for everything you put online. It's been very consistent. You know, I've competed for over, must be like 12 years now. The judging's very good, very fair. I just want to thank you to everybody that supported and all my family and friends. And I lost a friend not so long ago, 2 weeks. His name was James Blake. We lost him to suicide. So, bro, I dedicate this win to you, my bro, James Blake.
Second place and $300 in Farmlands vouchers. Put your hands together for Ricky Stevens. That concludes our presentation. The next event on the program is the Trans-Tasman Woolhandling Test. We've checked upstairs and there are thousands watching live from Australia. So here's your chance, Masterton. Let Australia know who you think's going to win. Is New Zealand going to win? Let's wait and see. I'll pass you back down to the commentators.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a few songs from the Shenanigans.
Guys, we've got it pretty professional about it. They have tallies they want to hit, and you know, they generally just work to that tally, and well, they know how to do it. They can set themselves at a pace where they know they'll be within 1 or 2 sheep. It's bloody impressive how they do that, I reckon. I mean, it's bloody hard work though. I mean, they're running a marathon every day.
My main message to farmers would be good toilets, good facilities, maintenance, keeping the maintenance up for everybody. That includes like catching pen gates and holes in walls and springs on doors. It's just common sense stuff. That's all shearers want.
When I was still shearing, I walked into a shed one night about 9 o'clock down in Hunterville, and the place was just gleaming, and it was polished, and everything was just gleaming in the shed. It was the first time I'd been there, and I thought to myself, sure, I've got to do a good job here, mate.
Business, it's all about the people. If we don't have good people, well trained, with good facilities, good resources and clean operating going forward, put stress on them, all of a sudden they might get injured or something might go wrong there, then I'm left high and dry because I don't have people running our business.
In relation to performance and everything like that, I would start with your sleep, okay? Address your sleep, because without sleep we will not perform properly. Second to that, nutrition. Okay, so just making sure that within your nutrition, your hydration is adequate, and also in terms of eating, making sure that you're eating for performance. So the fuel that you're putting in your body, you can't run a Ferrari on diesel. Okay, so if you want to perform at the highest level like these guys are, then there's an element of that needs to come into it.
You've got to learn your limits, and you've got to learn that you need a certain amount of time in bed if you're going to work long hours the next day. You look after yourself, you eat well, and you make sure that you replace what you lose from dehydration. You've got to rehydrate well.
Main message about training and fitness is take a little bit more time to care for your body. Just do a simple few exercises a day. It's going to take 5 minutes out of your day to do a little bit of strength work, 5 minutes at the end of your day to do some stretching out, and the benefits you'll reap from it will be years and years down the road.
When we're striving to do well in the industry and we're trying to make money and perhaps make a name for ourselves, we lose that sensitivity to our bodies. We lose that awareness to when we're actually in trouble physically. It's time to go and see a chiropractor, time to get some physio, maybe look at our techniques and the way that we're operating, because if people are working well and they're making money and they can feel the growth in their skill set, then they'll look after themselves. It creates a very positive atmosphere and environment for everyone to work, and they want to be there.
Breaks and recovery time are just absolutely key and vital if you want to stay performing at the top of your game in the shed. If we compare shearing and so forth to competitive rugby or competitive netball, and you think about how those guys perform, they're not at a high intensity training every single day. They factor in break times, low level training, and definitely some recovery time. So that's how they stay in peak condition and how they can keep going and keep performing and winning. And so it's no different in the shed.
Sometimes, you know, someone's better off having a couple of days off to rest and recover than like thrashing them through it. And I think that's the main one, is just having that time out to refresh yourself and then come back stronger again.
Look, we all have little things that bug us and that are frustrations on the job, and the wool shed's no different. So is there some things that are bugging you? The earlier that you can speak up about them, the better, because if you can, then you can sort it out. So let someone know, let your head ganger or your shed hand kind of know, or it might be the farmer, what the issue is, and the earlier you do that, the better. But if it's getting really tough and you need someone else to map out what needs to change for you to be back on track, talk about it. Get some other people and connect with other people, and if you've got a bit on your plate, share it around. Other people can give you a good perspective on things.
People in our industry, if you look back 30 or 40 years ago, we were sort of taught to be hard and push through pain, but it's also being aware of when your body's in trouble and looking after yourself both physically and mentally.
Yeah, looking after your staff is really important. It's probably your number one factor. If you look after your staff, they'll look after you.
Finding it very difficult to get young people into the industry these days. So while they're here, we have to show them that we value them. And part of that is being about changing some of the attitudes of the way we did things 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago.
In the end, you know, it is all about the people. We can't operate without having people, and I think the ability to have respect for your contractors, for the people that are working on your property and for your property creates a great outcome for everybody.
Judge, please, Pauline Smith. Thank you.
Of course, there was no wool stores or anything like that in the Wairarapa at that stage when Golden Shears started. So and all the wool was fadged up, because the wool check to a farmer back in the 60s was his biggest check. It wasn't the meat industry like it is today. So the wool was that was important. It was real important that wool was looked after properly. And so it used to be fadged up. The organisers of the wool would have to find a shed somewhere in Masterton, and they'd put a press, would get a press from
to build a bit of anticipation, bit of tension,
and would take it in.
And the likes.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to bring up our teams. First up, we are going to bring up the Australian team. Peter Wingfield is the manager and the rest of his team. Give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen, as they come up. Sorry, sometimes trying to find these people was like trying to bring up school children, isn't it?
Yeah, we need a wee bit of time. We need to get that quietness. We'll achieve that soon though, won't we? Flags are going.
Gerald, I tell you what, I think the Aussies might be too scared to come up.
The Aussies? Will they have much support? Are you going to try the...
Okay, here they come, ladies and gentlemen, the Australians, led by their manager, Peter Wingfield. Give them a hand. Excuse me.
Have a wee bit of quiet, thanks. That'll be very good. And the cheap seats, thank you very much. The manager for the New Zealand team is Dave Brooker. So, ladies and gentlemen, can I have your undivided attention? Give it up for the New Zealand Woolhandling team, please.
Okay, first up, we're going to get Peter Wingfield to introduce his team. A few words of your team members, please, Peter.
Thank you very much. Feel like a bit like a rabbit in the spotlight up here, but anyway, it's a pleasure to be here, glad to be here, and now to introduce, we have our wool handling judge, Pauline Smith, our wool handlers, Rachel Hutchison and Aroha Garvin. I'm very proud to be able to be a manager of this team, and I'm sure that they're going to do quite well and give this a good shake.
Very good, thank you. I'll hand the mic over to Dave Brooker and he'll introduce the New Zealand team.
Thank you, and I'd just like to welcome Peter and his team to the Golden Shears. All the best and good luck, but not too much luck perhaps. New Zealand wool handling team here, Sri Alabaster and Pagan Kororia. And part of the team, our wool handling judge, Ian Hopkirk. And I'd just like to say it's a pleasure to manage these guys in this team. Took them to Australia end of last year, and they're a pretty serious bunch, these two, and they always represent the country with distinction, and it's been an honour and a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Well, that's enough talking, I think. I think everyone's ready for a bit of action. I will do the anthem. Yeah, it's a must.
Can we please have everybody up standing for the national anthems?
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth fertile, our home is God by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
So ladies and gentlemen, take a seat. Okay, Gerald and managers, we will leave the stage. Let the battle begin.
Good luck, I say.
So I'd like to welcome Mavis Mullins to the commentary team for this event. Mavis Mullins has won the Open here twice. Master wool handler, ex-president of the Golden Shears. So thank you very much for joining me, Mavis.
Ka pai toma, and thank you for the opportunity to help navigate us through this Trans-Tasman test. It's always a test of willpower, a test of brain power, and yes, a bit of physical activity as well. So finely tuned athletes.
So what's going to happen is they're going to share 4 merinos first. There's going to be a 15-second countdown, and then we're going to get into the crossbreeds. Norm Haraway is going to do the countdown for us, Mavis. So I think we're good to go. We have the green light. Joe Hopkirk, we are good to go. Shearers to the board. Timekeepers are ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, down here, Mavis, for the Australian team, we have Aroha Garvin and Rachel Hutchinson. A lot of experience in this team.
There sure is a lot of experience on both sides of the Tasman, as well as globally. Both of these women have represented Australia in the Northern Hemisphere a number of times, so it's great to have them back. Aroha Garvin is here also as a past Golden Shears champion and as a New Zealand Master Wool Handler. So wonderful to have Aroha here. She's from the buzzing metropolis of Raetihi, up in the Waimarino area. So lovely to welcome you home back to Aotearoa, Aroha. And Rachel, well, she's been here that many times. We know her babies. We've nursed her babies, helped her through. She's a great competitor, a very strong competitor, Toma.
Yes, well, these wool handlers, they have got, 18 baskets around them? And in every one of these baskets, ladies and gentlemen, will end up a line of wool. Just on the belly, there's 2 lines of wool. But Mavis, the merinos, we don't have a lot of merinos here in the North Island, so what do we use this wool for?
So before we talk about that, Toma, just let me give a few more comments about our New Zealand team. So Pagan Karodia, she's got the DNA running through her blood. Her mum, Tina Remine, is a master wool handler and a past winner here at Golden Shears, a past world team champion as well. And then her dad, Dion Morel, record holder. This is a family that certainly contributes back to the industry. And her partner in crime, Cherie Alabaster. And of course, the Alabaster name is well known in the shearing circle. Her dad, Ray Alabaster, was a long-time finalist here at Golden Shears, and her mum has contributed hugely as a judge as well. But these merinos, for those who don't know, beautiful soft wool. This is the wool that you wear close to your skin. Beautiful and soft, great fabrics. The Italians love it for their suits. And if you saw the New Zealand team in their dress uniform, merino, New Zealand merino suits, Ian Hopkirk down the end there with his merino suit on. We're very proud to wear it. So a very fine wool, a very delicate wool, a very expensive wool. So the care here is ultra.
So our shearers have been instructed to stick together, Mavis, and they all are coming down the last side. We're going to see the first fleece hit the table very, very shortly. There's a lot of work in these fleeces. These fleeces probably weigh about 4.5, 5 kilos. That's a lot of weight for these young ladies to be handling.
Let's watch Rachel. She's got hers first up. Carefully aligning to that table. How does that look down there, Toma?
It looks good. There's a little wee bit of bunching at the top of the table, but apart from that, it's not too bad. It's nothing that she can't handle, this young lady.
So Pagan's throw was it was pretty good. This is a difficult fleece to throw. So when they throw these fleeces, the secret is to get them fully aligned onto that table so that all the faults that are contained within one fleece can be removed. And that's what Pagan is doing at the moment on her own. The Australians have got a different strategy. Both of them were on that table at that time, Toma.
So we've got the roll-up down here on table number 1. The Australians are already getting rid of their first fleece. Aroha Garvin, she's doing the bellies. She's looking after the belly wool while Rachel, she's going to pick up this fleece off the floor. Very, very hard to do that. But look at all, she's got both the back legs, squeezes it tight. Eyes up the table, throws it. That's a lot better throw, Mavis.
Yep, it's a difficult thing. Once you've double-handled that fleece by putting it down and having to pick it up, you know, there's more chance of error. But that's what they have to do. You can only have one fleece on the table at a time.
I see Rachel here, she's shaking the fleece, Mavis. She's trying to get rid of the second cuts, the double cutting of the wool. And that falls through the table onto the ground, and that will go into a basket of its own. I see down there they've got rid of the first fleece too, the New Zealand team.
Yep, Pagan's taking a lot of care. Getting that compact balance, throw, pull. Yes, beautiful. Lovely throw. But we've got the Australian judge. All these judges are watching them diligently. They don't get away with much. And then once it's been judged out here, it goes out the back and it's double judged again to ensure that the oddments that they're separating are what they should be.
Nice, tight, compact roll is what these judges are looking for. It's got to be rolled from bridge to shoulder. And down here I see Rachel, she's got her brim in hand already. She's already thinking ahead, isn't she, Mavis? Because there's only 4 of these big merinos and then they're going to start with 4 crossbreds.
They are, and the big thing is, the biggest sin in the shearing shed is cross-contamination, which means we cannot have the merino wool or the crossbred wool mixed in with the merino. There's a price differential of about $10 a kg, maybe even more. So you can see that there's a lot of care and a lot of attention and a lot of planning that these two wool handlers, these teams, have to think about, plan, and then execute. Here we go for the next throw. So obviously at this end, Pagan's been assigned the throwing duties.
Oh, that's a lovely throw down there by the New Zealand team. Once the shearer pulls the cord, here we go, 15-second countdown.
3,
Lovely
5,
throw down here
6,
from Rachel as well.
7,
Come on,
8,
get him behind
9,
your favourite team. I
10,
heard an Aussie guy
11,
up behind me.
12,
Here for them,
13,
there's only 12
14,
seconds.
15,
and the crossbreds are
out
coming
they
out.
come.
Okay, shearers, out you come with the crossbreds. Oh, we're in a bit of trouble now. Mavis, we talk about this cross-contamination. Holy moly, where are they going to put the wool?
Yep, well, these ladies would have thought about that. Where am I going to put that next fleece? We cannot allow cross-contamination. These crossbreds will shear at twice the speed of those merinos. So, you know, they're going to have to go hard or go home here.
New Zealand's already got their second merino fleece on the floor. Come on, Australia, you're getting wasted by the Kiwis. We got Rachel throws that fleece. A little bit of panic, a little bit of overthrow. Anything the size of an A4 sheet of paper, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 point. We got Aroha working her way on the board. Rachel, she reaches over, pulls the fleece to her. Very, very smart. How are we getting on down there, Mavis?
No, it's working well. They're working to a plan. You can see that. I'm also have one eye on the Aussies, and they're the same. They've got a plan, working to it. The big secret here is they need to get those merinos off the table and the floor swept before one of those crossbred fleeces hits that table.
Holy moly, both of these teams have got the merinos out of the road. There's not going to be a lot in it. Aroha has a big sigh of relief. She can actually put some wool somewhere. Rachel, sweep up time for her. Cherie Alabaster's working away, getting a little bit red in the face. Mavis, you know that the pressure's really coming on with Cherie.
Oh, my face would be getting red too, having to work at that pace. They're not shy of work, these girls. This is what they do day in, day out in the wool sheds. But now the pressure's really on. Let's see how they work now. Swapping the duties down this end.
Oh, the Aussies have got a beauty. No way, no way. Here we go. Come on, the Kiwis. These Kiwis are under the pump, Mavis.
They are under the pump, and how cool is that? A real competition where it's like for like, skill for skill, speed for speed.
These wool handlers here, they're double tag teaming that fleece. Aroha Garvin runs back to the board. Rachel is Aroha riding Rachel because look like Rachel's doing all the work. Another good throw down there for the Kiwis. Rachel has a look at the board. Don't worry about that. You need to get the fleece off the ground. Up the neck work, the shearers. There's some amazing pressure going on right now. Cherie Alabaster Mavis, she's right in her element.
This is what these girls plan for. This is what they dream about. This is what they travel for. This is what they invest in. They love the work. They love the fibre. They love what the fibre can do for New Zealand ink. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to buy more wool. Get into it. Make sure you commit to doing that because this is a fabulous product and we do it the best, the best. Sorry, Aussie, you're kind of good too.
Okay, here we go. Shearers coming down the last side. There's bins for miles. There's 18 wool bins here. Ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be one type of wool in every single bin. There we have oddmans and mainline. Down the last side working these shearers. Come on now, New Zealanders, you're going to need to get in behind the Kiwis. It's 1 minute 10 seconds is the seal time. Here we go. Aroha runs straight to the ground. We got Rachel throws. Oh, and it's not bad, Mavis.
Beautiful throws, beautiful throws. Look at the different strategy. Aussies already cleaned their board off. The Kiwis are saying, no, we don't need to. We can leave that fleece there. We don't need to double handle it. There's some smart thinking that has to go on. Getting it done.
We're probably at about 50 seconds now, Mavis. I'm pretty sure it's 1 minute 10 seconds. Holy smokes, the Kiwis. Oh, a little bit of pressure from the Aussies. That throws in a very good throw. Come on now, who's going to be the first with the brim in hand? It looks like the Kiwis are going to take these Aussies to the cleaners. The Aussies are fighting hard. Roll up time here on the Aussie side. Rolling up. Oh, the Kiwis are first. Come on, New Zealand, get behind your team. What's wrong with you guys? That's the way. Give them a bit of support. Mavis, it's all on now.
It's all on now. Come on, you Aussies. Let's not let them finish on their own. Where are you? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Where are you? Come on. This is where it gets exciting. The planning. Who's got the best plan?
Oh, I think the Kiwis might have the better plan. We got Cherie on her knees. Pagan standing there, looking around.
Woo!
Hey! And the Aussie team, well done Australia, well done New Zealand. Wow, Mavis, thank you very much. That was an amazing, amazing test.
Fantastic test. Well done to those competitors. Well done to these teams and well done for making the effort to compete, to get to this stage. I'm sure the New Zealand team looks forward to coming over to Aussie very soon to recontest a fabulous historic event. Thank you, Toma.
Thank you, Mavis. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please give our shearers a hand too? The shearers at shore for these wool handlers. Thank you very much, guys. Paddy Mason and his team. And we have a little bit of entertainment up next.
So, Tuma, just before they start, we have the top 12 in the Open that will compete the semi-final tomorrow night. You saw it on the big screen before, but they are top qualifier and in qualifying order. Top qualifier was Roland Smith, Gavin Much, Nathan Stratford, Brett Roberts, Johnny Kirkpatrick, Leon Samuels, Mark Granger, Jimmy Samuels, Aaron Haynes, Dion King, David Buick, and the last man in there is Troy Piper. And looking forward to seeing the top 12 open shearers in action tomorrow.
We're going to have a couple of numbers by the shenanigans while we clear away the tables, ladies and gentlemen.
on a vehicle outside the stadium, carted round to wherever the press was put, and there was 2 guys that'd be there pressing the wool for the whole week. And on Sunday, of course, you'd press all Saturday night's wool, and then that wool had to be trucked to Wellington. So you'd have to find some means. Norwoods had an old tractor with a bucket on it, and we'd go round to Norwoods and pinch their tractor and load the wool out. You'd load it out. You'd do a load on, at least a load Friday morning. Sometimes you had to do a load early and a second load to get rid of it, because in those days we were shearing over 5,000 sheep, which was a lot of sheep, a lot of wool. And so that wool all had to be kept separate, and it had to be consigned to the wool stores in Wellington. And so you had to have it, organise the trucks, get the wool, keep it all separate for each individual farmer, and then have it trucked out. So there was a lot of work involved, but now, of course, in recent years, we've managed to get a press into the stadium for a start. I did a bit of work to get that organised, and we had a press at the back of the stadium, which meant we didn't have to drag these fadges and ship them out, which we could just ship the bales out. But now, of course, we've managed to get a press and get access out to the back of the stadium, so the wool comes off the stage, out to the backs, pressed up in the stadium, and there's wool stores in Masterton now where you just truck it up and put it in the local wool store. So from where the amount of labour and work that there was, it's certainly been reduced to where we are today. We started off, because young farmers, we always ran, we put a stage out in front of the board and had tables there, area we could put tables there for the young farmers, because young farmers ran the Friday night. And we used to do the young farmers wool handling, and that was always done. But that stage had to come down on Friday night because they needed more seats to go in. So there was no room to run a open wool handling competition like it is today. Some of us got together and decided we could run a wool handling competition for the open grade. So yeah, then it was accepted. We put it to the committee, and they ummed and ahed and eventually accepted it. And we ran a competition in wool sheds. We started out at Jimmy Williams for a couple of years, and then we went up to Riverside and ran it there. And then we just brought the finals into the stadium. And then eventually we talked the committee into leaving the stage there so we could run the competition in the stadium. And I'll never forget the first year. After about the second year we held it at the stadium, we got 100 entries in the wool handling. And to me that was quite something, because at that stage some of the shearing entries were starting to drop off a little bit, and to have this wool handling, and that brought all those people back into the stadium, and they were all entrants then, and it really made, and since then it's grown from strength to strength, and the wool handling now is a pretty strong competition. And then that's when we went to, Gavin and I actually went to Australia. I went to Australia twice to convince the Aussies to come over here and compete in an Aussie. We already had the shearing test with Australia, but we never had any wool handling. And we went to Armidale 2 years in a row, where they held their competition that year, and convinced them over there to send a team. And since then we've had an Australian-New Zealand test in the wool handling, which is, quite an achievement, I believe. When we had the Worlds, we ran Perindales for one of the Worlds, but that was back in 82, I think. And then other breeds of sheep, it's once they got what they call the national competition, which is where you have Merinos, Sean and Alexander, you've got Balclutha with the long wools, you've got Corridales at Christchurch, and then you've got lambs and second shear, so you've got all breeds, and we shear all breeds here at Golden Shears for the final, and that's where the final of that national event's held, is here at Golden Shears. And so, so we now bring Corridales down from Hawke's Bay, bring the Merinos, as has been said earlier, up from Alexander. We find lambs locally, and second shear locally. So we have the mixed breeds in that national event, which is, to me, the ultimate shearer that can shear all those breeds and compete over 15 sheep of those breeds, which is good.
Property. It's one of the most fiercely competitive markets in New Zealand. And that's why we at Bailey's continue to work to rise above the competition. We pride ourselves on being better, on doing our best to build on our hard-earned reputation every day. Since 1999, we've had a dedicated team of country experts whose skills and know-how have made us leaders in the field. We represent every sector of the rural landscape, from large-scale farms, stations, forestry, vineyards and specialty rural properties to lifestyle blocks and homes in the country. And we treat every single one with our legendary professionalism and integrity, whatever the scale. No one knows this market quite like us. We go above and beyond, time after time, day after day, year after year, to achieve the best possible results for our clients. That's why we're the nation's #1 rural real estate brand. Bailey's Country. We're altogether better.
Para mi gente, con una pasión tan fuerte. Ay, 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 ahora sigo cantando y sigo gozando, yo sigo cantando y sigo gozando. Why we're still blade shearing, okay? There's lots of power around the country. You think you'll be machine shearing them all, and there'll be reasons why we blade shear. Okay, Tuma, you good to go? Welcome these...
Yes, we are. Let's bring these gladiators out, ladies and gentlemen. Johnson's Brothers are the sponsor. On stand number 6 from Geraldine, Alan Oldfield. Current world champion in the blades, this man right here.
From Scotland, give it up for Katie Reid, please. Come on down, Katie.
Stand number 5, also from Scotland, but lives here in Masterton, Alan Grant, ladies and gentlemen.
From Oamaru, Peter Casserly. Come on down, Peter.
On stand number 4, from Okuku, Isaac Duckminton, ladies and gentlemen. Give this young man a hand. He is going to show a bit of power tonight.
Talking about being a pair and a master from Geraldine, Full Oldfield.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please make a bit of noise. These guys don't have machines and it's very, very quiet. This table down here with all the drunken ones, you guys are the best. So we'll hand it back to our commentators.
Thanks, Toma, Gerald. So just for something a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to cast our minds back, look back to the early 1900s when there was no electricity in New Zealand and when Peter Casserly was a young man. He strode the boards of the shearing sheds in the high country back in the early 1900s at Peter Casserly. No electricity, that's why he learned to shear on the blades. Didn't you, Pete? So the old blades, he's a master at keeping them sharp too, Pete Casserly. How sharp are those blades, old mate? How sharp are they? Yeah, good one. That's bloody sharp. Those blades are almost as sharp as you, Peter, but not quite. Well done. So Katie Reid, Peter Casserly, Phil Oldfield, Isaac Duckmanton, Ellen Grant and Ellen Oldfield. That's the lineup we got in front of us here tonight, John. There's a couple of good blade shearers amongst these. There's some that don't do quite so much, but they're here anyway. And we have the current world champion down the far end in Ellen Oldfield. Won the title in France this year. Also the team's title over there in France, along with Tony Dobbs. First time in history that we have brought home both the individual and the team blades titles.
I just like the way Peter there warms up. He's showing the young ones up a little bit. He's did a bit of flexing and stretching before we get on with the job. We have the green light, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get on with the final event of the program. Timekeeper's right. Not quite. Oh, we got one on the pin.
Come on out, don't be shy.
Scott's been trying to empty his pockets, is he? He'll be there a long, long time then, because they're long pockets. I think he might be in there plucking a bit of belly wool. Oh, he had a mate with him. Okay, we're good to go this time. Timekeeper's right. Judges, competitors, go. And welcome to the World Premier Shearing and Woolhandling Championship, the Golden Shears, the 60th occasion, 2020, and our last event on the Friday evening is this floor sheep to blade shearer. Look at him go down the first off leg. Katie Reid, just a very, very young competitor in this game of blade shearing compared with the experience of Peter Casserly, the great man and the renowned character on stand number 2. A little bit of pace from Phil Oldfield, the older Oldfield in the team. And he just turns his sheep up now to prise open the neck and get those 200 mil blades working right up under the jaw and breaking out the side of the face. Easy as that. A couple of blows in front of him is the power of Duck Mountain, Isaac Duck Mountain. Manton, Sarah, look at it. It rolls it down that first off leg. Alan Grant around the back of that. He comes on stand at number 5, but the pace could be all down the far end from the world champion. Alan Oldfield from Geraldine. Expertise. He's only a youngster, but by crikey, look at him drive that big 200 mil blade, snipping it at the end of every shot, Norm, as he rolls up that long blow now, doing it easy by the look of it.
He's doing it pretty easy, Alan Oldfield, but his wrist will be starting to sing a wee bit by the time he works his way through these 4 big long wool ewes. Alan Grant from Scotland, originally living in New Zealand now, works his way around and across the side of the rib cage, just as Isaac Duckmanton turns for home. Cheek coming off for Duckmanton, so he's not too far behind Alan Oldfield. Phil Oldfield, he's a former New Zealand representative as well, ladies and gentlemen. Represented the country with distinction a few times. And Peter Casserly has as well. Peter Casserly, world record blade shearing holder, sure over 350 in a day at one stage in his career. I'd just possibly suggest that was quite a few days ago. But great to have Pete here. Real character, like John said. Former publican, had the Wairarapa pub, and he's sure around that region for a long, long time. And of course, we used to go in there and talk to him about shearing in the Wairarapa pub there. So the only reason we used to go in there was to see Pete and have a yarn, nothing else. Katie Reid from Crieff in Scotland on stand number 1. She chops her way up the backbone, so she's right there with Pete Casserly. Katie working hard down off the last cheek onto the last front shoulder. And it's Alan Oldfield dropping Kerry as he hops in and out of the pen. and got another one of these big long wool ewes out. Isaac Duckmanton and Phil Oldfield not too far away. Of course, Phil on stand number 3 is Alan's father down there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a family affair up here in the blade shearing final, ladies and gentlemen. Golden Shears 2020. Hasn't it been an evening tonight, ladies and gentlemen? We've gone through the top 30, smashing the machines out, and then we've gone back in a little bit of history. The blade shearing, ladies and gentlemen, as they talked about it just before, this is how sheep were shorn when they first come to New Zealand. It is a tradition within New Zealand that is maybe not so much done so much anymore, but in the Canterbury High Country there's still a lot of places that shear with the blades, and they do that because of it just leaves a little bit more wool on that sheep for the added protection that we are after as farmers. We want to keep our sheep in the best condition we can, and in the high country in New Zealand we can have those snowstorms come through, and we all know how cold they are. With the blades it leaves a good probably 10 mil of wool covering on these sheep. So as farmers we want to keep them as safe and happy as we can, because they will be also in lamb at that time of year, so we want to obviously protect our mothers and our lambs that are being produced as well. So down and into the long blow goes Isaac. Alan Oldfield down there on stand number 6. Current world champion, ladies and gentlemen. And of course he is from New Zealand. And down the last side he goes. Phil Oldfield. Down and into the long blow he goes. Of course, John, he would say he taught him everything he knows.
Well, that's what all fathers say, but the young ones always come up with a smart answer. But a little bit of pace coming on from Isaac there on stand number 4. He's put the whip on and he's cutting off that last side very, very nicely. They actually go round the sheep with their blows. You'll notice as the shearers now, they create a pattern of corrugation, as you'd like to say, of going around the sheep rather than along it. You look at Peter Cashley now, he's heading straight towards the backbone as he eases that sheep down on stand number 2. Those blows are going directly towards the backbone, and of course that doesn't create any rib on the horizontal, so it doesn't hold any snow, doesn't hold any water, and the sheep will be a lot warmer for the way it's been shorn. Here goes Katie Reid now, turning round the back of the head. The first off shoulder, she's shearing it more like a machine shearer. A little bit of different pattern as far as Peter Cashley. He's a showman. He turns around to the crowd and shows you what he's about. And we love to see him. He's a great a man to have along on an occasion like this. And if you get to talk to him later on, he'll always have a good yarn for you, or if you'll make one up just for the heck of it. So stepping up the neck now is Isaac Duck. Maintain, and he's around the back of the head. Look at him go. He's got a little bit of pressure on. He's out in front. Alan Grant coming across that last side. Under the shoulder, he's about to swing as Phil Oldfield drops number 2 down the board hole. Number 3 on the board now for Alan Oldfield. So there's not a lot of ground to cover between first and second. Peter's a little bit further back here on stand 2. Alan working hard on that last side. He's putting in a couple of big runs there. He's got a good strong shoulder to push. There's a leather strap on those blades that goes around the fingers and the thumb, and that's what they call the driver, and that helps them push the blades into the wool, because the wool sort of clogs up a little bit, and those tips of the shears are sharp and angled so that they will enter. And then, of course, you've got to, once they enter and get to the half a depth, they close them and keep driving along the face or the side of the sheep, wherever they might be approaching the wool at that point. So here we go. The pressure on. Sheep number 3, stand 6 and stand 4. Isaac and Alan down the far end. Peter's about to get his second one done. Up here, Katie's not too far behind here on the front stand. Pressure on. Alan's got number 3 on the board, Norm. Click goes the Shears, a quick strop of the gear with Peter Castley on the stone.
Yeah. Having a quick touch up with the blades. These guys are masters at keeping the blades sharp. And down the last side on the third and final sheep, Alan Oldfield and Isaac Duckmanton. Alan Oldfield chops his way out onto the back leg. Isaac Duckmanton chasing hard. He sort of had him there for a little bit, but Alan Oldfield put the gas on a bit. He's not the world champion for nothing, that man down there on stand number 6. But Isaac Duckmanton, he'll be happy enough for the way he's shorn, making a nice job, and he's right there as far as pace goes. Right out onto the back leg. Stands 4 and 6, and Alan Oldfield hits the time clock button. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen, our current world blade shearing champion. Isaac Duckmanton lets his go as well. His time clock has stopped. Just leaves the 4 shearers on the board. And the ancient craft of blade shearing, or hand shearing they used to call it. I'm not sure how many centuries people have been shearing sheep with blades, but a long, long time ago. I do know that Jesus was a famous blade shearer. Jesus and Peter Castley were famous blade shearers. Well, he did share with the blades, Jesus, because how else would he know who to let into heaven and who not to? As we all know, all shearers go to heaven, ladies and gentlemen, because they've already been through hell on earth. And Peter Castley, he's another very famous blade shearer other than Jesus. When Noah had the ark, John, he brought the 2 sheep along with the 2 of every other animal. He had to have 2 sheep, and he had to have someone to share them. Peter Castley was the one that went on Noah's Ark and shore those 2 sheep.
Well, you saying he's the size of 2 people?
Well, he almost is.
So that's a bit rough on the man, but he's just a fine gentleman.
But he's a legendary blade shearer. Peter Castley, of course, he shore Noah's sheep. He shore Shrek. He shore a lot of other sheep, of course. And like I said, world record holder. Peter Castley back in his day. Over 350 sheep. I can't remember the exact figure. He'll remind me probably later on, I'm pretty sure, about
you'll get your hands
20 or 30 times.
Yeah.
But Pete Castley down around the last cheek. And Phil Oldfield. Phil Oldfield's a master at keeping gear sharp. He has his own wee business making and keeping other shearers' gear sharp. And he looks down the board. He's a former New Zealand rep as well, as you can see by the silver fern on his jeans on stand number 3. Alan Grant chops his way round onto the last front shoulder. Him and Peter Castley are having a bit of a ding-dong battle there. Pete Castley round onto the last front shoulder. He'll be not too far from a finish, old Peter Castley, because it's getting on a wee bit. I think Coronation Street's about to start. He'll be wanting to get back and watch that. Katie Reid on stand number 1. Round onto the first front shoulder of sheep number 3. So she's not too far away, but Kerry Ellen Grant down there, the other Scottish representative on stand number 5. He's not too far from a finish. Pete Castley's chasing hard. He's just showing the best side of himself to us right now as Peter Castley as he cleans off the fribs on the inside of the leg. And it's going to be pretty close between these 2 shearers, but I think Ellen Grant might just have him. Not much in it, Kerry.
I'll tell you what, Norm, I'm not sure you and Pete are going to be mates after you just give him a bit of a chisel up. But
we'll always be mates.
But all the same, back to the board, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing touches there from the legendary shearer from the Oamaru, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together, Pete Cassidy. And also our Scottish shearer, Alan Grant, ladies and gentlemen.
Just put those blades down before you start waving them around, friend. I know the judges might have given you a bit of a hard time, but there's no need to threaten them with the cold steel.
And that leaves a young lady from Scotland, ladies and gentlemen. What an evening we have had, ladies and gentlemen. We started off with the top 30 shearing. And then we went through to the test match And now we are on to the blade shearing. What an evening we have had, ladies and gentlemen. And down the last side comes the young lady, Katie Reid. Under the final shoulder she will come. And down and out the flank. Working her way around that sheep, ladies and gentlemen. Johnson Brothers, we thank you very much for your loyal support here in the blade shearing final. Finishing touches for her. Rightio, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to get in behind here.
You can't do that. That'll stop the sheep going down the porthole. But you can applaud her for sure.
Yeah, she's wielding those blades pretty fine. Right out on the last leg. Sheep just having a look around wondering what the hell's going on. But Katie lifts its head up again. They can handle those blades. The things that Peter Casseley's done with the blades over the years, John. Shorn a lot of sheep. Cut a lot of people's hair. Circumcised several young boys.
And that's
Katie Reid chopping out on the last leg. Another couple of shots and she is going to let that one go, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big hand as she reaches for the time clock button. There it is, folks. And away it goes.
You just imagine 30 mils a time going round and round that sheep. It takes 30 mils a cut, whereas a comb and cutter, you're looking at 110 to 113 mils wide. So 3 times that the handpiece, that the steel of those blades goes across the sheep to equal one blow of the handpiece, the electric side. So a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, brilliant stuff from our blade shearers of great sports and athletes they are.
You right down there, Pete? Do you need a hand to get down them stairs or what? So big thanks for your support of all the events we've witnessed tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Give our competitors a big hand once again that you've seen battle it out on the shearing and the Woolhandling board tonight. We're just getting set up for the prize giving and we will be back with you very, very shortly.
Whew, well, we're nearly at the tail end of it. It's been a big, big night, an exciting night. But look, we thought while we're waiting the instant prize giving for the blades, we'd just very quickly make a couple of comments. So, Doug, top 12.
Yeah, exactly. The top 12s we can confirm now. Roland Smith at the top quite predictably. Gavin Much, Nathan Stratford, Brett Roberts, John Kirkpatrick, Leon Samuels, Mark Granger, Jimmy Samuels, Aaron Haynes, Dion King, David Burke and Troy Piper. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got the big challenge from the Southern Territories. There are 4 of them up there, out there to knock off the old North Islanders. And of course we've got the old brothers there, Leon and Jimmy.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're all quite interesting. But all the big guns there, we've got the former champions all up there having a crack as well.
All right, Doug, let's head down. The prize giving's just about to begin. So we'll be back to you very shortly.
First is an instant prize giving for the event that you just saw. The Blade Shearing Final, sponsored by Johnson Brothers. And presenting this award is Shane Meehan, head foreman at Johnson Brothers. Give him a hand, he's a bit nervous, everyone, get behind him.
On the behalf of Johnson Brothers, I'd like to thank all the competitors for entering, and on the 60th year anniversary.
Nailed it. Well done, Shane. The winner of the Johnson Brothers Blade Shearing receives $600 plus an MKM vest. It was pretty clear. The winner's penalty points were 38.9. Second place, 45.9. Put your hands together for the winner of the Johnson Brothers Blade Shearing, Alan Oldfield. Congratulations, Alan. What are you more excited about, winning this or beating the old man?
Well, it's actually pretty cool beating the old man here, because last time they had a Blades event like this here was 10 years ago, and he won it. So it's taken the title from the old man. It's actually real good to be up here with all these competitors. I actually work with Isaac every day, and we compete in the seniors and the Blades at every competition, and we have a real head-to-head. It's real good fun. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming along, all the competitors, all the sponsors, and everyone involved in putting this show together.
Now, if I remember correctly, when I met you 10 years ago and I interviewed you for Trackside TV, you and your old man had a shop in Geraldine. Have you still got the shop?
My old man sold the shop about 2 months ago. Oh, well, there you go. So he's retired. Oh, well. More time to practice for this. Yeah.
Well, it looks like he needs it. Alan Oldfield, everyone. Second place receives $350 plus an MKM vest. You've seen him before tonight. Put your hands together. Isaac Duckmanton. Third place, $250 plus an MKM vest. Peter Casserly. Fourth place, $150 plus an MKM vest. Newly retired Phil Oldfield. Fifth place, $100 plus an MKM vest. All the way from Scotland, Katie Reid. And as we know, it's an achievement in itself to make a final. Put your hands together. Another Scot, Alan Grant. Could we please now have Scott Parker and the teams in the wool, CP Wool, Trans-Tasman Wool handling test up to the board, please. The teams and Scott Parker. How are you?
Well, just while the teams assemble themselves and make their way, I'll introduce you to Scott Parker. He's the Chief Financial Officer at CP Wool, here for the first time ever at the Golden Shears. Put your hands together.
It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'd like to congratulate both teams, Australia and New Zealand, for being here tonight and the performance they've put on tonight. A special shout out for our team, our CP Wool team in Masterton that have hosted us tonight and the feed that they put on, and the team that we've got here tonight is a credit for our company and a credit for the wool industry. And just want to pass you back and say thank you very much for being here.
Well done, Scott. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Australian and New Zealand wool handling teams. The winning team in the CP Wool Trans-Tasman Wool Handling Test receives $1,400 plus the Trans-Tasman Wool Handling Trophy. Who is it, Masterton? Is it New Zealand? Or is it Australia? It's New Zealand!
Well, well done, girls. Firstly, well done, Australia. It's great to have you here. You battled really hard and it was a really good event. But Pagan and Shearing have been together for a wee while now, and I thought they looked pretty good out there. Pretty coordinated, and it was a great event to watch. So well done, both teams. Thank you very much.
Well, Pagan and Cherie, you've done it for your regions, you've done it for your whānau, and now you've done it for your country. Congratulations in front of a home crowd. You heard how much this means to them.
Oh, thank you very much for all of your support when we had the national anthem. I've been up here a few times, but that was pretty surreal tonight, so kind of gave us the encouragement that we needed. Just like to say thank you to the sponsors, thank you to the Australians, it's always a good challenge. And thank you to my whānau, and I'll just pass you on to Pagan.
Hi, I'd like to thank the sponsors and the organisers, the Australian team, my teammate, and I had heaps of fun. Thanks to the supporters too. Cheers.
Thank you. Well, they've come all this way as they always do. Put your hands together for Australia! Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this presentation. But if you enjoyed that, then you will enjoy the Trans-Tasman Shearing Test here tomorrow night. It's going to be a big one. The 60th anniversary, the 60th final of the Golden Shears right here where you are now. So we thank you all very much for coming along tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. Come along tomorrow night. There's a big party afterwards. There's a licence here till 1 in the morning and music will be playing all the way through. This event has made it for 60 years and we're keen to celebrate and we want you there. So thank you for coming tonight and we'll see you again tomorrow night. Thank you.
So here we are, the end of the night. A lot of the excitement's kind of run all over us, but we do have a few little things that we have to tend to. And Doug and I are really pleased to have in the green room tonight with us our blade shearing champion, Alan Oldfield, and world champion blade shearer. How does that feel, Alan?
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's really cool that we got to come up here for the blades for the 60th year. It seems to be every 10 years that we might be having this event, and it'd be really cool if we can continue that.
Well, I'll put a word in. Hey, Doug, you'll put a word in.
Yeah, indeed. The blade shearing's got a good bit of history. We had Alan and Tony Dobbs up in Hawke's Bay a couple of years ago for what we called the 150th anniversary of a blade shearing competition up there. So that's how long, at least, it's been going on. Not much blade shearing in the North Island though now, Al.
Yeah, no, there's not a lot of blade shorn sheep up here now. Although we taught one of the locals up here that was in the competition in the heats, and he just does a few lifestyle block mobs, and it's quite handy for that. But yeah, not much commercial shearing.
No, so you're a world champion, and I mean, for a start, to beat the South Africans, that is just like climbing Mount Everest, eh?
Yeah, it's a fairly big challenge, and ever since the South Africans entered the world shearing competitions, they've won the blade shearing since 1994, is what it says. It's the first time they competed.
Yeah.
They've won it every year, South Africa or Lesotho, another country
Yes.
inside South Africa, for 25 years, and it was a big task to beat them at the World Championships.
Oh, well, you did it, and you did it, made us all very proud of that. But tonight here for the 60th birthday, you mentioned in your speech that 10 years ago when we celebrated the 50th, the winner was...
My father. So it's quite cool to sort of take that title on now.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. You were also talking to us a little bit about the difference of with when you're blade shearing crossbred wool to fine wools. Talk to us a bit about that.
Yeah, so the sheep up here are quite coarse in the wool, and you can do an okay job on them as long as your gear is sharp.
Yes.
With crossbreds though, if your gear starts to go blunt, you start leaving a lot of wool on, and that costs you a lot of points out the back, because farmers don't like that, because it means you've got an uneven length of fibre.
Yeah.
On fine wools, there's a lot more density in the wool, a lot more fibres per square inch, and that basically holds the wool straight. So even if your shears go a little bit dull, you can still get a smoother finish on them.
Gee, that's so cool. You know, Doug, it reminds me that there's science even within this industry, and very impressive that you can talk that, because that is about applied science, isn't it?
Indeed, you find a pretty ready audience for that around the world. I've heard you talking to other people about it before, and quite astounded by what really does it.
Yeah, especially I think people are really interested as to how much thought goes into shearing, not just blade shearing, machine shearing too. There's so much gear and so many angles, and you're putting applied physics to work, and and also you're testing your body along with that physics. It's a real skill.
Yeah, certainly is, and you seem to be honing that to quite a fine art, Alan. Look, on behalf of Sam Saunders, the president of Golden Shears, and all of us that have been able to witness a brilliant evening and a great event with the blade shearers, we just want to say thank you for coming, congratulations, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your visit up here into the North Island.
Yes, thanks Mavis, it's been really good up here. Yeah, cheers.
Great, thank you. So So our last interview for the Friday night of the Golden Shears 2020 60th anniversary. And whoo-wee, this is a cool interview, our last interview for the night. So we watched the Trans-Tasman and it was a stunning test, I have to say. I watched from the side. You know, there wasn't a heck of a lot in it, although having said that, there was a level of organisation from the Kiwi team that I thought was overly impressive. But let me first of all say congratulations. Thank you for keeping the cup at home. But who wants to tell us first how this all feels?
Pagan.
Amazing. You know, I've always wanted to compete at the Golden Shears in the Trans-Tasman, and it was really exciting up there, and I had to learn to adapt real fast, and it was challenging at the same time. I really enjoyed it.
It looked like you were enjoying it. And for you, Cherie?
Oh, it was amazing. It always is at Masterton, and it was lovely to be with Pagan and the team.
Yeah.
And yes, we're very, very happy to have brought the cup home or kept it here.
So you two have been team members together for some time now. How many events have you two competed in as a team?
3. We were together in France at the World Champs, and then we were together in Dubbo last year in Australia.
Okay, so actually that's not a heck of a lot really, is it?
Not really.
No, and I guess that's what you get when you get two professionals working together. It just sort of goes, pshh. Yeah? Is that how it felt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure did, because our game plan changed halfway through, and then we were in different spots, and we just adapted to each other, like Pagan said. It was really lovely.
Oh, cool. There's just a magic, isn't there, when it all falls together like that?
It sure is.
Yeah. Hey, look, I read in your profiles between you two, and I mean, I read it this morning, so my addition might not be quite right, but there's something like about 60 to 80 open wins together.
Wow.
Between you two. That's an impressive record. That's a really impressive record. So before we wind up, because it's getting late, there's another day tomorrow, any last word from you, Cherie? Any shout-outs or anything?
I'd just like to say hi to all my whānau back home. It's lovely to be here representing my whānau in my hometown of Taihape, and I'd just like to encourage any young wool handlers out there that if you would like to have a black blazer one day, it's definitely possible.
Oh, that's a beautiful message. And you, Pagan?
I just want to thank all my family from Masterton that turned up today to watch me live. That was really cool.
All right, so, you know, you've heard it from the mouths of champions. It's all about family. It's all about the support of our communities. And more than that, it's about aspirations. Dream big, because you can all do it. So from all of us here tonight, good night. See you early in the morning, because we start again then. Thank you very much, ladies. Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
here. Can't do that with a bumper sheep down near the border. The chicken applauders in the